Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me again tonight. It is Monday night, and we're back, guys. The interview with Chris and Katie Proudfoot came out earlier. We listened to it. Now the video's out. We're going to review and analyze that video because there's a lot of discrepancies within this interview as compared to the last few. Let's check it out, guys. And again, as I always say, let's get this show on the road. Here we go. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. It is great to be here with you guys again. Long time no see, right? Yeah, sure thing. Thank you for joining me tonight. It is appreciated so very much. Like I said, as we heard earlier, Chris and Katie Proudfoot, the step parents of mother and stepfather, I should say, of Sebastian Rogers, did another interview with Nancy Gray, and in turn, things have changed, folks. And in my opinion, there's a lot of discrepancies that I kind of want to review and analyze at this point because it's important to see and understand what's going on with these people. So I think it can help to understand what could have happened possibly with Sebastian in some ways. So welcome all. Thank you guys for jumping back in here with me. For all those of you that were here earlier, I appreciate you very much. Once again, respect to everybody that jumped over to Cluminati. She had a good stream going on as well with the same interview and some other stuff, guys. And she's been boots on the ground since this started, doing a great job. So again, much respect to those of you that have checked her out and supported that channel too. You guys are awesome. Welcome one and all to all of you. I appreciate you very, very much. So let's see who we got with us tonight again. Yes, we are back. So it looks like once again, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Arctic Fox, True Crime, back in the house. Thank you for joining me again, brother. I appreciate you very much. Virginia Wolf, welcome back to you. Of course, Miss Salty's in the house. Always a pleasure to have you, dear. Jody Walters, welcome back to you. Hey, sunshine. Welcome back. Good to see you, Kimber. What's going on with you? Good to see you tonight. Nope, not today. 62. Welcome back to you. We're going to talk all about that. Nope, not today. SRB, welcome back, dear. Good to have you here. Good to see you. Thank you for joining me. And I'm also, guys, just so you guys know, D. Smith, welcome back to you. We're going to be doing open discussion along with this and a panel to discuss what everybody's thoughts are on this. So welcome, and thank you again. Let's see who we got. Any Ruler, Ola, and welcome back to you, Miss Victoria. Always a pleasure to see you, ma'am. Excuse me. Josie West, welcome back to you. B. Williams, great to see you. Thank you for joining us again tonight. Let's see here. Ms. Barini B, never a doubt in my mind, would be here with us again. Great to see you. And that goes to all my moderators. Thank you so much once again for being here and doing what you do to keep me going with my head above water, because I couldn't do it without y'all, and you know that. Let me see here. Come on in the door, guys. Grab a chair, get comfortable, do your thing, if you will. MCause, welcome back. Great to see you, man. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Always happy to see you. Always happy to see you. Goodness gracious almighty already. Check that out. Excuse me, guys. I am Two Bear. Thank you for joining us. Great to have you here. Courtney 614, welcome and great to see you again. My man Steve's in the house. SWTC, welcome back, brother. Good to see you. Let me see here. Groot, what is going on? Good to have you. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Tina B, welcome back, ma'am. Great to see you tonight. Great to have you here. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Marina girl, welcome back, hon. Great to have you tonight as well. DKM in the house. What's going on? Great to see you. Great to have you here. Thank you for joining us. So very happy to have you all in here tonight. I think I hit everybody up that way. Let's hit the bottom and see who don't. Mittens for Kittens is in the house. Welcome back to you. Great to see you tonight. Josie West. Come on in, guys. Grab a chair. Mama Clue is in the house. What's going on, Mama Clue? Thank you for joining us tonight. It's great to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful evening, ma'am. And thank you for being here. Appreciate you so very much. All right. Come on. MCause. Yes. Miss Sherry's back in the house. The amazing Miss Wisdom Speaks. Thank you for joining us tonight, ma'am. Thank you for being here. Much appreciation to all of y'all. If you can't tell, guys, I've had a lot of coffee. Oh, my goodness gracious. The mama bear is back in the cave with us. Welcome back, mama bear. You know you're welcome to jump up if you feel it. I know the bedtime is coming soon, but I tried to go earlier just in case you did want to do that. So you're welcome to jump up here as well. I'm sure if you will, you're going to do it and scare me. Absolutely, Kathy. Never a doubt. You got my awesome coffee. No thanks to War Eagle. Let's see here. Sweet Melissa, welcome back. Good to see you. How good golly, Miss Molly's in the house. Welcome back, Molly dear. Good to have you here. The Molly cat is prowling again. That's fine, Mama Bear. I understand. If you fall asleep, I'll wake you up. No big deal. No worries, you know. Since she skipped out on me earlier, she's gonna come up here and finish out her time. You know how that goes. I tried to make her feel guilty earlier. It didn't work because she knows I'm not even remotely serious. So I can't get it over on her. It just doesn't work. Great to see the family is in the house. I'm missing just a couple peeps here. Give me one moment just to alert everybody else. 1 second here. Let me see. Let me see something here. Right, and one more. Okay, I think we're Yeah, give me a chance to turn that stuff down. We're good on that. And cool. Here we are. Welcome back to me. Miss Zelda's in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mama Clue. Hello, hello. Great to see you, ma'am. Wonderful to have you in here. I hope you're having a wonderful night. Miss Zelda, hello, hello. Blue Crew, love. There it is. Oh, you wrench handlers in the house. Again, thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate you so very much. Couldn't do it without you, ladies. I think I'm catching everybody. If I didn't get your name, I didn't mean to. I don't know. I just sent Doodle a message. I don't know where she's at yet, but she should be coming. She usually is always here, but she does have her grandson with her, and she might be caught up with that, which is absolutely understandable. Excuse me. I hope you didn't work too hard today, Zelda. It's wonderful to see you, and you know it's not a big deal if you can't be here. If you're too tired after working and all that, I get it. Never ever a problem. Exactly, Arctic. Props to all the mods for not getting carpal tunnel while welcoming everyone. Here, Romino, welcome. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. Yay, I'm on your live. You are awesome, sir. And you are awesome for being here. I appreciate you all very much.
Stop it.
I just wanted to see your facial reaction like, hey, what's going on?
Like, stop it.
Welcome, Mama Bear.
Thank you.
Look, she's here, guys. Now we can all have fulfillment. Look at her shirt. See it?
Yeah.
Can you tell that that's an Amazon family there?
Mm-mm.
Not even a little bit.
Mm-mm.
Daniela Kiriako. Daniela Kiriakou. I think that's it. If I didn't say it right, I'm so sorry. You slept for an hour? So you're ready and raring to go then, huh? Let's do it. Let's do it, Victoria. Tear it apart. We are going to break this down tonight, guys, because this interview, I know Mama Bear watched this by herself, and then we watched it earlier, and then we watched it. Clue was watching it. We were all watching this interview. And I know every one of us has had issues with this interview. Faux show. Okay. Especially me. Because in right out of the gate, immediately, there was a dishonesty that was pronounced. It's a nice way of saying a lie. Okay.
No.
Yeah, you don't do that. Noni McPoppins in the house. Welcome back, ma'am. Great to see you tonight. Yeah, we don't do that stuff. Not when it comes to this case, because this child needs to come home. If somebody knows something, they need to start talking. This needs to be over. It has to be home. My husband keeps Amazon afloat single-handedly with all his purchases. I don't know about that, bro. If you look in my past, I think I brought them up to date until recently. But around my little room here, there's little boxes that look like this. They all came from Amazon. And I've got, well, they're all numbered. And I've got more than doubles and triples of some of these from back in the day. So, it's not so much recently, but probably 2-3 years back. Yes, I was very good for that.
Well, Kimber, I'm glad I could help you remind to order your dog treats.
The shirt reminded me. Yeah, subliminal advertisement, folks. Matt knows what he's doing. Put this on while you go live. Hurry up. Yes, we love Amazon. Guys, listen, I remember when I first realized what Amazon really was. I never paid no attention to it because I'm not like a shopper like Clue is. And then my real good friend of mine, got me involved in these. When GI Joe released these new 6-inch versions of these things, which were like this big, then they came out with these bigger ones, like I just showed you, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I got excited. So, thank you, Miss Zelda. Um, I wait. He was like, "Just go to Amazon." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You can find anything you want on Amazon." I'm like, "I doubt it." He was right. Anything you want will come from Amazon, just about. And I found it. And when the whole pandemic thing hit, I got laid off. I was getting the money from all that, more than I knew what to do with at that time. Well, guys, I had I called it the brown box. What the hell did we used to call it? The brown box army or something like that in my front door every day. There was a box in front of my door every day. Like to the point where I got to be on a first name basis with a couple drivers. Like, "Hey Dan, how you doing today, bro? What's going on? You want some cookies for Christmas? What's going on?" It was that bad. So yeah, Amazon is awesome. I think. I don't know. I've been looking at that Temu thing recently, and I'm a little leery of that.
Yeah, stay away from Temu.
Right.
It's not good.
See, the advertisement's working. Tell Matt it's all working out.
Yep.
It's called job security, folks.
Right.
It's legit, and I love it. Oh Lord. Right. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button on the way in, guys. Wait a minute. How did this even work this way? We have 54 people in here with 62 likes. You guys are playing with me now.
Right. I already hit it, so.
People must have come in, hit it, and said, "All right, I'm out." That way he'll shut up and he won't say, "Let's make a match."
Or they just didn't want to hear your introduction, so they left, and then we'll come back later.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much, Zelda. And thank you to everybody and anybody that has donated to this. This supports the channel. It keeps me coming out here every single day. It takes care of StreamYard, so I can come in here and they can have their glitches and end my shows whenever they feel like it. It takes care of my internet, and it also takes care of the YouTube Premium to keep everything rolling the right way. So thank you all for anybody that has donated to that. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate it very much. Hit the button, hit the button. I just don't understand. You guys are probably so tired of hearing it. We have more likes than people in here. That's pretty awesome.
Like someone said, I just saw it somewhere. A lot of people are channel hopping probably right now.
Oh, I'm sure that there's a lot like we were kind of doing. Lisa Baleo, welcome back. Great to see you. Miss Prying Paula's in the house. Welcome back to you. D. Smith said that. Yes, let's make it match.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Well, don't go backwards and leave to make it match or whatever. You don't just ignore me. Yes, Annie. Yes. These are so wonderful. Look at these things. They're big ones. Instead of the little dinky things, they're big and they're so detailed and they're so realistic and the boxes are so cool. I love them. I'm a big child. I do love them. Let's do it. Let's do it, Salty. Come on. Come on down.
Come on, Salty.
And that's going to be another part of this tonight, guys. I'm doing the open discussion and panel to discuss and analyze and review this video tonight, folks. So let me get this ready. I'm so excited to have you here tonight. I don't ever get you in the evenings.
I know.
And you're yawning already. See?
Mm-hmm. And I slept till noon.
Diego and his dolls.
But I'm out of my nighttime medicine, so that's part of it.
Oh, are you gonna be all right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you need to go to sleep? Or is that what you need to stay awake?
Yep.
How's that one? Okay.
It helps me to be less sleepy the next day. So it actually helps my brain to shut down so that it gets the recoup.
Yes. For those of you that are confused, Mama Bear has a sleeping disorder. I cannot for the life of me think of what the damn name of it was, which is why I just said it like that.
Narcolepsy.
Narcolepsy. Thank you.
I'm
There
a
we go.
narco.
Narco, guys. Which is why we don't have her typically on night streams, because she can't just to sleep, So
Yep.
that's right, Miss Sherry. Give us a thumbs up if you will. Even the little lurkers out there
Yep.
peeking in the corner. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Come on in. I have apnea too, Jody.
Get a sleep study, SRB.
I did. They gave me a machine. They put me on the machine. I was going to sleep every night with it on and tearing it off in the middle of the night. Didn't even know I was doing it. But I would wake up every night, every morning with the thing on the ground next to me. Mama Bear, do you take nootropics? No tropics, nootropics.
I don't know what nootropics are.
Miss Kate Pruitt, welcome. Or CJ, whoever that is. Yeah.
Yep. Same here.
Do you really have it that bad where you could fall asleep anywhere?
Yeah, you know how loud a air compressor is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty loud. Could you sleep with that running?
Maybe sometime. I used to sleep in the fire department 24-hour shifts, so I got used to that kind of stuff, and it was
Yeah.
always loud in there. But steadily, probably not.
Yeah, a guy I dated I was sitting out in the garage with him while he was working on his car, and I was sound asleep. Air
Wow.
compressor running, kicking on and off. Didn't bother me a bit.
That is crazy. Speaking of Amazon, Miss Delta, thank you for putting that in there again. And everybody, a lot of you guys have donated things through the Amazon wish list that helps me to continuously do what I do with all the things that are sent out. And God knows I really, really appreciate that stuff. You guys, you're amazing for that. Thank you for all of those donated items. You guys rock and roll. Speaking of rock and roll, War Eagles in the house. Roll Tide Roll. Welcome back. Good to see you. Another one of my awesome moderators here. I got the whole gang and the whole family back in here again. It's awesome to see you.
Yep.
All. There's my
And
dude.
let's see.
My dudes. I realized over the past few months that Cassie has her own language.
Cassie has her own language?
Yeah, she does. Pay attention.
Okay.
Just watch the things she says. It's her own language. Like she goes, she says Medea-isms sometimes. And then things like that, my dudes. I love it though. It's hilarious. She does. See, her mom just said she does. See? She does have her own language. It's cool though. And it's funny because I understand it. And I always have. That's the weird thing. Her Medea-isms are awesome, as I call them. There is the doodle. Good to see you. Yes, guys, please deal with me and excuse me because I've had like 8 cups of coffee over the past 4 hours. So,
oh Lord,
I'm a little bit, Heather Fitzgerald, welcome back. Good to see you. It is an Ohio thing, I think. That's got to be what it is because I think Brandy picked it up too. Like nobody even questioned what she was. Well, some of us didn't question what she was saying. It was never a question. So, welcome. Yes, the whole gang is here. That is fact. Definitely an Ohio thing. It's probably that Tar Heel in me. Either way. Welcome back, everybody. Miss B. Williams, welcome. Yes, I am definitely a little bit wired, ma'am. Yeah, Heather gets it too. She's an Ohioan as well. Miss Carolyn, welcome back to you. Tracy again, welcome. That's right. Roll Tide Roll. Bama all the way, even without. I'm so sad. I don't even want to talk about it. Our coach retired this year from Alabama. Like Willie cried about it. Literally, he said.
Wow.
He came in here and was like, Daniel, what the actual F and blah, blah, blah. I thought something bad, like horrible happened. And he was like, Saban retired. And I was surprised, but I knew it was coming. I was just like, okay, it's all right, bro. It'll be okay. We'll survive. Yep, Miss Brady gets it too. Like I said, born and raised in Ohio. There's a lot of the heart of it all here. It's always good to have you here, Carolyn. Always. Jody Walters again. I can
Hi,
understand why.
Jody.
Yeah, it is. Tracy, I agree. Very much so. Miss Victoria was born in Ohio too.
I'm sorry.
Listen, Indiana.
I am not a Hoosier. I was not born in
You're
Indiana.
right next door to me, so Bama gave
I
up.
wasn't born here. I just live here.
Where were you born, did?
Illinois.
Oh, that's so much better. That's so much better.
Right?
That's so much better. Doodle says I may have been born in a barn. I can almost believe that.
I could believe Doodle was born in a barn.
Yes. Kimber says her husband's from Ohio. Ohio State all the way. Nope. I live here, born and raised here. I haven't left here, but I do not like Ohio State. I'm sorry. I am a
Start
Browns
talking
fan.
sports, and I will be out real quick.
I am a Browns fan, though. I have to tell you guys that. And then I'm going to move on from this because I know most of you guys hate the sports. But yes, Cleveland Browns. I love them. And earlier I had on my Indian shirt that doesn't exist anymore. Guardians, whatever you would call them. So anyway, LR, welcome back. Good to see ya. Hope Floats was born in a cabbage patch. A balls, Tennessee ball. There you go. DK was born in. I think a lot of people are from Ohio, and they just get the hell out as soon as they can, and then some of us just get stuck here forever.
Do you blame them?
No,
Okay, then.
I like Ohio. I'll be honest with you. Except for our bipolar weather, I do like it.
Indiana's all right.
Indiana is almost an identical twin to Ohio, just like Michigan is. So it is great to have you here, LR. I've seen you a few times recently. Kentucky. Florida born, Florida raised, Northwest Florida, and I do not roll. I get it. Okay. No problems. I was born under a cold. What the hell did you say? A cold wheat pie?
Oh, Jody. Yep, Molly was born and raised a tater. Still a little spud.
Yeah, Molly's an Idahoan. Oh, that didn't sound right. Idahoan. Sorry, Molly. An Idahoan. There we go.
She's still a little spud.
Yeah, she is. She is definitely a little spud. Just a little one. I love taters. All right, folks. Now that we got everybody warmed up, I do just like talking to you guys sometimes. It's fun. I do enjoy it very much so. Yeah, exactly. That came out way wrong. I didn't mean for it to. I love you, Molly. You know that. It's okay.
Lou said, got it together now.
Yeah, right, Lou. I think we're good.
We never have it together.
Never. See, I knew it was coming. I'm not a hoe. I knew it was coming. I know you're not. We love you, Molly. Like it's a bad thing. Thankfully, I never have to go back to Ohio. Come on, Salty. Here's your. Hold on. Let me give you that link real quick. Let's see if it works.
On Tuesday.
What? Good Lord. No. Molly's a sweet little thing. Such a sweet and innocent little bud she is. Uh-huh. What happened here? No.
What?
Oh my God. My mouse just died. Sorry. Thank God I had the other one plugged in. This is why I don't like this rechargeable thing. Either way. Okay, there we go. We all sweet till we get mad. Those are facts. Those are facts. That couldn't be the more realist comment I've ever seen, Val. Honestly. All right, guys. Like I said, moving forward.
All right. Bye, Mittens. I'll probably be gone when you come back.
You leaving? Did I talk you out of here? I did. See? Right in my mouth, and I talked everybody away. Yes, God bless the backup, Carolyn. That's fact. Sweet until Molly calls you to her office. No, Molly will send me a video. That's what happens when she gets mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
It consists of a cat driving a car, and then it goes on to showing the cat drop kicking somebody in the face and knocking him out. That's what happens when Molly gets angry with me. It's kind of funny.
It is pretty funny.
I love all of y'all on here too. Mods, you're all. That's right. Exactly. Got the best mods.
I was dropped from a bird. That sounds painful, Wisdom.
Okay. All right. So let me pull this up here, guys, and get this moving, because tonight we are going to analyze this, review it, and we're going to talk about the differences. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. The link is posted pinned in chat. Let's do that first with Salty and see if we can get her up in here and see how this works. CJ Pruitt, SRB, probably. Yeah, that's another good question there, D.
Right? I heard that and I was like, what?
That kind of blew my mind. You are absolutely right. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Mm.
Are you there, Salty? Not quite.
Not quite.
If you can hear me, you can type it in the chat, because there's no volume or nothing on you yet. Let me see if your mic settings. Yeah, they're all set right. You made it up here. Do you have a microphone? I forgot that might even be the issue right there. But if you got a laptop, you should have a microphone built into it. I can hear you. Okay. Okay, cool. Can you say anything back? Because you came in, it's CJ. That's what I thought. Kate is CJ, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
They use the same, him and his wife use the same accounts back and forth. Anything I need to do to help with it, Salty? I'm excited that she gets this worked out that way, because I want her to join me when we do, and Sleuthy's probably going to join us too. When we do the Delphi stuff, we're going to be having coming next week, a big Delphi thing.
I'll be at work next week. I think it is a StreamYard issue on her end.
What do we got? What do you think it is as far as that goes? Well, you don't have to have StreamYard for it to work. As long as you're clicked into my system, when you click in here, it'll cover you.
All right.
I'm trying to think. Down at the bottom, there's settings. There should be a little box that pops up when you're in here that has settings, and then your audio, it'll give you the options for default microphone and speakers. And then there's a drop down for the microphone that you might have to click on to make sure that it's on the right setting for your microphones. Give me just a few moments, guys, so I can get this worked out. Yeah, and then you probably have to go out and come back in sometimes too. That does happen too. Molly cooked dinner tonight. Oh my goodness gracious. And you had to go check it. It must be something good then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not hard. It really isn't. Once you get used to it, StreamYard is the easiest streaming platform out there. It absolutely is. As compared to like OBS and Streamlabs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I downloaded OBS just to check it out, and I was like, "Oh, what is this? Nope, I'm going back to StreamYard."
They want you to add this in and throw that on there, put a little icing on top of it, and a cherry, and then some gravy for it all to work. And it's just ridiculous that you have to go through all that.
No, this isn't gonna work.
You want to try it again, Salty? There's another link there if you want to hit that one again. Most of my typing devices don't have a real phone number. I got you, Carolyn. Welcome back, Molly. What are you guys making for dinner, Molly? I'm waiting on those. Or yeah, let's we already did this once. Let's try to get those likes to 100 so we can get this out in the algorithm, guys. Please. Just run next door and ask your neighbor to come over and hit the like button. Go across the street, get a dog, have his paw, that kind of stuff. Let's do it. Only thing I use Streamlabs for is yeah, and it's good for that kind of stuff. I don't typically do pre-recorded videos, which I'm going to be doing eventually here soon. I hope you're ready for that, Mama Bear.
That'd be interesting.
No, Annie, that's a whole different name. Different people. CJ Pruitt, two different people.
Not but yeah, CJ.
No. I'm also working on. Oh, there she comes. Hello. Can you hear me, Miss Salty? Also, you guys, I have another channel I'm working on. It's my toy channel, and not that you guys would have any interest in it whatsoever, but if you would be interested in liking that for me or subscribing to that, it would definitely help me out with this channel too. Growing them both helps me to grow, period. So if you guys
Steak Alfredo
feel like being nice, you can go check that one out and subscribe to that as well, guys. Steak Alfredo. I've never heard of that.
I haven't either.
It sounds pretty good though. She dropped off again. When you said that, I could see as the elf. Oh, I'll think about it. Doodle, you probably already did it. Don't lie. Doodle is probably the most supportive person I've ever met in my life.
I know. She's awesome.
So loyal and so amazing. No matter how I come in, I hear the stream 2 times and you can't hear me. Something's going on with that then. Because it means, but I know that you know this though, Salty. When you go into the StreamYard, you have to shut down the YouTube. Once you're in StreamYard, you completely get away from the YouTube and shut it down. And I know you know that. And that's typically only what causes the echo. That sounds really damn good, Molly.
Icons on the StreamYard? What icons on the StreamYard?
What are we talking about? Oh, wait. It makes me log in through StreamYard, and I think it's conflicting with my... Well, you shouldn't have to do that, though. All you should have to do is to click on that link, and that link will bring you into here. It'll bring you backstage, and then I just pull you up. You shouldn't have to do anything else that way.
Do that, Salty. Don't go into StreamYard or anything. Just click the link.
Yeah, just click the link and tell me what it says, if you can. Bear with us, folks. We got to get this worked out. I've tried on 3 different devices. Something's not right. We'll get this worked out, Salty, one way or another.
I wonder if...
Welcome, Debbie.
She's logging into StreamYard and then clicking the link, she may be getting double.
No, you don't have... Well, she said that she wasn't doing that. All you got to do is go into whatever device you're on. Once you see that link, if you're on your laptop, you're in the chat here already. and then you'll just go and click on the link, and it'll bring you right up into here. I wonder if I emailed her the link, if it would make a difference.
I doubt it. I mean, she was coming up okay.
Speaking of which, guys, if you will take just a moment, Salty True Crime Time, Salty Sleuth True Crime Time. That is the channel there for her. She's got great stuff, especially on Delphi, which is why we're going to be doing this together. That is the link to her channel. If you will, please subscribe. You won't be disappointed. She does great stuff, guys, and it would be a great support for her. So please and thank you.
Yeah, exactly, Arctic.
It's going to take her to StreamYard. It always does, but she shouldn't have to log in. Right. You should be able to just come right in through that. She needs to close YouTuber. So yeah, that she knows, but thank you for subbing to her too. All you guys, thank you for subscribing to that channel. She's got a great channel. Exit out of YouTube if you did. If you get Dago on the phone talking, I did it airport a while back. I used to never have issues. If you need to call me when you're doing it, I can walk you through. You can tell me what you're seeing, and maybe I can walk you through that. Thank you for subscribing to her channel, guys. I appreciate that very much. As does she. Because I would love to be able to get her up here to have these conversations on Delphi and stuff like that, where she can stay in here without having the feedback and the delay and stuff.
Yeah, Kim, if you don't use it after such a certain amount of time, you do have to
Right.
re-download it.
Last year she used to come in with no problems. Can you hear me, Salty?
I can hear you guys, but I hear you twice.
Let me turn this down and see if that makes a difference. All right, how about now?
Yeah, I mean, like, I have to stop and let you talk, and then I have to let everything, like, really go silent.
Now, when you came into this, what all did you do? Tell me everything you had to do.
I clicked the link, stopped the camera, tested the mic, and came on stage. And then once I get here, I hear your
You there?
I start to hear the stream 2 times, and then I can't hear anything but the stream 2 times.
Oh my God. Let me turn my sound down and see if it makes a difference. I don't think it's feeding back through my microphone, but it's been on every device she's on, though. So that's what doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm wondering if it's a StreamYard conflict, because my StreamYard accounts are on my devices.
Does it make you, like, when you come into my link, does it take you directly into your StreamYard account?
Yes, it's
not supposed to do that.
I think that's what's happening.
It's got to be,
So
because that's what it's doing.
I still have not purchased a mic for the new desktop yet. So that's my last option.
It might make a difference. There's a couple computer people in here.
CJ said turn off the.
Diego, I'm gonna jump down because this is aggravating for both of us. I'll join in chat, but I can call you in the morning.
Yeah, if you can in the morning, we'll see if we can work this out through Discord or phone call or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right, hon. Thanks again.
Aww.
Yeah, I got to get this worked out with her because there's been so many times that she could be up here.
Yeah.
She wanted to be up here so we could talk about some of this stuff. I know that's
aggravating.
Going back and forth in your ears. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she turns YouTube off, you guys. It's not that.
Yeah, it's not. She's a rookie. She knows.
Or she's not a rookie, right? She knows what she's doing.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant.
But
sorry.
No, it's okay. What is going on is when she clicks the link, for some reason, it's taking her directly to her YouTube or to her StreamYard account, which I wonder at this point if there's something that's clicked in her StreamYard account that makes that happen. We'll figure that out tomorrow. Either way,
Yeah.
again, there's her link, guys. Yeah, because I got to get together with her anyway. So we will get into that tomorrow morning sometime, and we'll get it worked out. Either
Pick
way.
CJ's brain and Twizzle's brain and see if.
Yeah. CJ Pruitt, he's pretty good with computer stuff. Twizzle
Mhm.
built my system over the phone, so we'll get it worked out. Either way. Thanks again for trying, and we will get this worked out sooner or later.
Paula.
I wouldn't have a clue how to get up there from my Chromebook. I'm lucky to. Oh, we could work it out for you. Anybody ever has issues? Listen, that doesn't want to come up here because they don't understand it. Mama Bear's very good with computer stuff. I'm getting there, and there's quite a few other people that can help you through it. So we can work it out to get you guys up here ever when you need to. So don't ever
Absolutely.
be afraid of that. And you never have to show your face, except one time for about 3 seconds back here behind stage so that I know it's going to be you and not a body part.
Mhm.
That's all. So she may have 2 StreamYards. That's true. I went through that in the very beginning. I actually had 3 because I downloaded it and I didn't think it was downloaded, and I downloaded and I did it again. It might be a good idea to what's the word? Dump the StreamYard, Salty, if you can hear me, and go through and make sure that none of them are in there, and then re-upload or re-download it to your system. That might actually fix it.
Mm.
Or she can go into her settings on her computer, disconnect the StreamYard so she can. Yeah, that. Okay, one of her kids said that could work too. Good point. Good point. Little bit. Welcome.
Thank you, Zelda.
I either think she needs to completely log herself out of StreamYard or log into it and forget. You know, that's true too, Salty. Sometimes you may be logged into it and just takes you automatically in. And you may have to log because I've never logged out of mine. I just click on it and it brings me back in every day. If you log completely out of it when you go into there, it may shut that down completely and pull you out of it. That could be the problem right there. That's a good point. And welcome, little bit. I like that name. Do a video on StreamYard. Yeah, there we go. Cover StreamYards. All right, guys, let's get this thing moving here. Give me 1 second. I know y'all are in here for that reason. Either way, like I said, we will get it worked out. So, all right, let me find this. Where'd it go? I do not want to connect to Spotify again. Okay, that's gone. 1 second. Okay.
Hey, Tomboy.
Welcome, Tomboy. All right.
Thank you, Zelda.
All right. Thank you, Miss Zelda.
Oh my goodness. Had a busy night. The Saviors. We're getting ready to go over the Nancy Grace interview of the Proudfoots.
Yes, we're going to review, analyze, and again, I have a link pinned in chat for anybody that wants to join us to break it down and talk about it. So that's funny as hell. It's Klugen and bring JLR a chicken for a prop to hold up for Mr. Priss. That's too much for me. Too funny. Welcome, Saviors. No worries. Never ever worries about being late.
Love you too, Zelda.
Yes, great stuff, Zelda. Thank you so much. All right, so for those of you that were here earlier, we listened to this interview through Spotify. It was just the audio on it. There was no video at that point. And you can hear the discrepancies just from listening. Now, we have the video now, and I really wanted to watch the body language with this. As we see and hear the discrepancies, and there's a lot, guys. I'm sorry, but there are a lot of discrepancies within this video, and I almost want to go back and show them and match them in the separate interviews to show you guys what I'm talking about, and I may do that. Cluminati said she's probably going to put a video together with all the interviews and show it how it's all different in different spots. So anyway, again, let me know. Yeah, he did. He got mad as hell because he's finally seeing certain discrepancies, and he's like, if I'm backing you up and I'm supporting you and saying that I think you're a good person, this and that, and then you're going to turn around and you're going to make lies up. Come on now, something's wrong.
Right.
And I was right there with him in the chat saying, I'm right there, bro. I get it. And it's pissing me off even more. This child should be nothing but the number one priority about everything. If you know something, then you need to spit it out. Period. And it's just pissing me off more and more and more. No, they have not found him, Demon Dog, at all. So let's get this moving. Let me know how the audio is, guys, if there is any issues, please. And how do I sound okay, Mama Bear?
Hi, Caden.
Am I not too loud or not loud enough or anything?
You're just the right range.
I don't know. To me, it sounds like you're eating your microphone, but maybe it's just because I'm tired.
How about now?
That's a little better.
Okay, I did turn it down. It's a little too high. All right, here we go. Let's see here.
Monday morning, 6 a.m. from February 26. Monday morning, 6 a.m. From everything we can tell, that is the moment that Sebastian's mom and stepdad realize he's gone. For just one moment, imagine that. You go in your child's room where you find your child every single school day morning and you wake them up, but at 6 a.m., he's not there. Can you imagine what must have gone through their minds? First of all, I want you to hear what his bio mom, Katie Proudfoot, says. Listen.
When I woke him up for school, he wasn't there. I took a second and walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up and was trying to get breakfast or something, because he did that sometimes. About 3 minutes in, give or take, I was on the phone with my husband. I said, I can't find him. He said, what do you mean you can't find him? I said, he's not in the house.
Can't find him. Where is he? And in the last days, we learned that the official law enforcement search is actually scaling back. This as TikTokers and YouTubers are flooding the area, conducting their own searches. Listen to Eric Craddock, Chief Deputy, Sumner County Sheriff's.
Really wanted to come to the community and ask for your help. We need you to search your properties every day, morning and night. If there's a shed or a crawl space or up under your mobile home or a tarp that's in your yard, check it every morning and check it every night. Look for any details that something has been disturbed. If there's a shirt that was there today that wasn't there yesterday, notify us. You can really help us by searching your own property twice a day. Like I said, we're operating under the assumption that Sebastian walked off, and we really need
you. Probably because she's a minor and they're not really putting a lot of it out there. I do know that the COD was blunt force trauma and strangulation. I'll tell you that much. I'm still trying to find like clarification of that myself. Willows, just to give you a heads up on that. I seen your question, so
Yeah, that's hard when it comes to minors.
Right. I'll do my best though to find something and show you where you can get it from. Okay.
your help to ensure that he is brought home safely.
We are trying to determine what happened when this young boy, an autistic young boy, seemingly walks out of his own home in the middle of the night, we think barefoot. How did that happen? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Crime Stories and on Sirius XM 111. We've read a lot online. We've seen a lot of theories, a lot of speculation, but let's start with what we know to be true. Joining me right now, an all-star panel. But first, I'm going to go to two special guests joining us, Katie and Chris Proudfoot. This is Sebastian's biological mother and his stepfather, who were in their home with Sebastian when he goes missing. To both of the Proudfoots, thank you for being with us. I want to go straight back to when Sebastian goes missing. Miss Proudfoot, I understand that the day before, which would have been Sunday, if I've got the information correct, that you guys went out, you went to dinner, you went to somewhere, I believe you said BJ's, where he had a quote, colossal popcorn. Then you came home that night, and around 9 p.m., you tell Sebastian to go to bed. He says, okay, and goes to his room. Is that correct?
The first thing I want you all to notice, guys, before we get into this, their demeanor, especially Chris's, towards Nancy, as compared to every other interview they've done, completely different. People, especially him, it's almost like there's an intimidation factor involved, which I kind of like, I'll be honest. And I'm not a huge fan of Nancy's. She did amazing with this interview, you guys. I'm just letting you know. Yeah, yes, Carolyn, I did. Actually, quite a few of those. It's very sad, and very trying.
Yes, ma'am.
That night, I understand from previous statements you've made that you went to bed around midnight. Is that correct?
It is.
And to you, Mr. Proudfoot, Chris Proudfoot, did you also go to bed at midnight or before or after?
No, ma'am. We went to bed around the same time because we were on the phone together.
And
He was not home.
please excuse any of my questions. I'm simply trying to find out more about that night. Do you two sleep in the same bedroom?
He wasn't actually in the home at all that weekend.
You were not home.
No,
okay.
ma'am.
So where were you, Mr. Proudfoot?
I was in Memphis, Tennessee.
How far away is that?
3 hours and 37 minutes from doorstep to doorstep.
And what were you doing in Memphis?
Working.
Where do you work?
I'm currently working, or was working, at the St. Jude Children's Hospital construction project.
Yes, I'm very familiar with St. Jude's. You said you were working there. Are you no longer working there?
Right now, that's up in the air.
Well, you've been gone ever since Sebastian went missing, so I understand. When you are home, do you two sleep in the same bedroom?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this a 3-bedroom home?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is your room as it relates to Sebastian's room?
It's on the opposite end of the house. The master bedroom's on one side, and the other 2 bedrooms are on the other side of the house.
Okay, so your master bedroom is on one side of the house and Sebastian's room is on the other side of the house. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you have a 3rd bedroom that I believe you keep for your other daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that Faith? Is your other daughter named Faith?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where is Faith's bedroom as it relates to Sebastian's bedroom?
It's in the back side of the house. Sebastian's bedroom is on the front side of the house.
Okay. So his bedroom is away from Faith's bedroom and away from your master bedroom. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Sebastian's room on a top floor or a ground level?
We have a ranch style house. It's a 1.5 story. So everything's flat. And then you have the bonus room above the garage.
Okay. So his is on ground floor, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That morning, was there any sign of a break-in through a window, a front door, a back door, a sliding glass door, anything at all?
No, ma'am.
Okay. No sign of forced entry. Was anything taken from the home at all?
Not that we could find anything. We couldn't find anything missing.
I want to circle back to Sebastian's shoes regarding if anything was missing. Do you have a burglar alarm?
No, ma'am.
Do you have a Ring doorbell cam?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have the two of you taken a polygraph?
That is also something, by the way, you guys, that is now debatable because I've seen a post that JLR went driving by and may have found a camera on the front of their house. So we'll see. That doesn't mean it was active, but we'll see.
I have.
I have not.
Would you be willing to?
I've offered and volunteered on many occasions to take a polygraph, and I was told directly by law enforcement because of my whereabouts, I did not need one.
All right, here we go. By the way, welcome Breeze to Wind, and thank you so very much. Appreciate you.
Welcome.
Now, we've all watched the very first interview with these two, and it was well, there was a couple. Dutchie, she ran one.
Mhm.
Also, not News Nation. It was another news crew that did it. But okay, Chris was asked 3 times, 3 different ways about a lie detector, polygraph, whatever you want to call it. The first time he answered it, he said, almost exact words was, polygraph results passed. That was how he said it. Both passed in that sense. And I will show you if I have to, you guys. I plan on it actually. Okay. Then again, there was, then again, it got brought up and it was, yeah, we passed. Then he goes into it and says, I didn't clarify who, but yeah, they both passed. He said the word both a couple times. Right here and now, he says, "Oh, I didn't take one. I was told by law enforcement I didn't have to." Then why did you say you took one and you passed 3 interviews ago? What's the point behind that? Why didn't you say that? I was told I didn't have to take one. That was the first clue to me that this was something was wrong with that. Okay, so there's the first issue with this interview. And I know you guys should remember because most of you were in here when I covered those interviews. Okay. Like I said, I'll go back and find it. We'll look at it here. Once we pull out all the discrepancies, we'll go check and we'll point them out in the other videos.
I understand. Ms. Proudfoot, did you pass your polygraph?
I did.
Those questions out of the way. Was Faith in the home when Sebastian went missing?
No, ma'am.
Does anyone else have a key to your home beside your immediate family?
No.
No, ma'am.
That night, Miss Proudfoot, at midnight when you went to bed, what did you do until midnight?
I had been reading a chapter that I needed to, and I had been talking to my husband on the phone. I was falling asleep on him, so that's when he told me it was around midnight. He told me to go ahead and put the dogs up and go to bed, and that's what I did. I got up, put the dogs where they sleep, and then I myself went to bed.
Where do they sleep?
They have a big pen.
A pen, is it inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside. That reminds me of another question. Do you guys have a motion sensor light or lights on the outside of your house?
Yes, we do have lights on the outside of our house.
Did they activate that night?
They're not motion censored. We have lights.
Were they on that night?
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Were they on that night? So the lights were out.
Now, this is something else I have issue with. This is a $600 some odd thousand home in a neighborhood full of $600,000 to $700,000 to $800,000 homes. We've all seen this neighborhood. It's beautiful, beautiful home. She works, as she'll clarify, for a security company. He works in the construction business, making huge money running a crane. They have money. Why do you not have a ring? I mean, guys, I've seen people that live in the projects, not that that's a bad thing, that don't have money, that have ring doorbell cameras, okay? And regular cameras and security systems and all these things. And I'm not downgrading anything. I'm just saying, when you live in a home like this, to protect it, you don't have any of this stuff. Not to mention, she's an installation technician for a security company. Does anybody else think something's weird with that? Now, I just saw a post that JLR supposedly did a ride by, which he's done, just like Clue and them did, and saw a camera on this house. Now, that doesn't mean that it's active with any kind of a security service right now, but there's still a camera that you could just have it running directly to your phone or something, okay? If that's the case, why did you not tell the truth about that if that's true? Okay, and we're going to look into that more too. Because there's things that I don't understand about this. If my child's missing, I'm going to be forthcoming with everything I can tell you to help with that situation. That's an important piece of material to understand. All of it, guys. And so far, there have been so many things that have been... Hello? Are you there? Can you hear me? If you can.
I hear things. I still hear things twice, and there's no StreamYard account on this device, so I don't know what's going on anymore.
That is weird.
I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense. It sounds like you can. Can you hear me sooner than you could before? I even turned my volume down. That's so weird. I don't get it.
I can. Say something again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Perfectly fine.
Hey, it's better.
The reaction's better.
Could it be a latency setting?
It could be a latency setting.
Settings now and trying.
Do you have headphones on? I turned my volume down, Debbie.
I'll turn mine down.
She's on a delay.
No, I don't have earbuds in right now at all.
Okay.
I was just making sure I'm not set for that on my phone as well through the audio settings here. Yeah, I don't know.
And she's gone. Okay. There's a delay on here too. There's a big delay on here. Okay, Molly, hold on a second. Let me see something here. Really? Well, damn. Interesting, Molly. Thank you, dear.
Molly.
Never fails. Molly's always on it. Always on it. Okay, guys. Well, there it is. Hold on a minute. If you can see it right there. That is a security camera, folks. and it's an LED security camera. I can see it right here. Like I said, it's there. That's the corner of the garage, I'm guessing. I believe. Or wait a minute. Yeah, right to the corner of the garage. There's the front side. So yeah, there's a camera right there. Okay. And that is known as a fog camera. Right. These aren't that cheap. It's not a cheaply made camera. So there it is. If it's not hooked into a security system, okay, it's not, but it's still there and you can still run that to your phone. Okay.
Right.
Interesting. Thank you, Molly. Thank you. Justin has a close up of it. Okay, so it's been seen. There it is. Again, don't understand this at all. Thank you, Molly. Good stuff. Great stuff, actually. All right, let's move this back in. So I told you guys we're going to break this down piece by piece by piece and analyze every bit of it. So garage had lights on. Yes, there's definitely lights. They said they're not motion censored, but whatever. Clue saw it too on film, right? Justin has a close up. Absolutely. Thank you, Sherry. So, guys, we know there's a camera. Why are we saying that there's not? Is there something that could be? Is there something they're holding back that has to do with that camera that they don't want people to know about? I'm not trying to sound crazy or conspiracy like, but why would you say you don't have a camera if you have a camera? Mama Clue says when Clue showed the house for sale, it showed a security system. That doesn't mean that they hooked it up. That's true. But if it's in the house already, why wouldn't you? It's not that expensive to run a monthly security system. And I'm telling you right now, they can afford it. Okay.
Well, when we bought our house, it had a security system and we never hooked it up.
I understand, but she does this kind of thing. And
True.
I don't know. I guess that
And through her work, you would think it would be like a benefit.
Yeah.
Discounted
Like
at least.
discounted or free or something. I agree.
Yeah.
Either way. That's, I believe, where he took the trash out at night. 100%, folks, because there was garbage cans right there. And you don't have to hook up your security system. I get it. But like I said, guys, you can actually just run that camera to your phone and don't have to have it running through a security service and just see, or on a monitor. You can have it on a monitor in the house for nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I have a big problem with that. Sorry, but I do. Anyway, we'll move forward.
The whole night?
Yes, ma'am. We don't typically turn the floodlights on.
Were there any lights outside the house on at all?
Just my little solar lights that we have in the garden.
There's two lights on the side of the house above the garage that are on at all times.
Oh, yeah, those are on.
Great
There's a
point,
light
Mama.
above the garage. It's on at all times.
There's two. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So those lights were on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I heard you say earlier, Mr. Proudfoot, that your neighbors have been very, very forthcoming with their Ring camera info. And I was trying to determine if any lights were on, what, if anything, they may have caught. But I understand from your previous interviews that nothing of any evidentiary value was caught. And also, in another statement you gave, I understand that the video of the two flashlights, and I'm saying that with air quotes, that's not exactly what that was at all. We now don't believe that two flashlights were observed around your home. Is that correct?
You're very correct.
Okay. Question regarding your vehicles. Ms. Proudfoot, what make and model do you drive?
I drive a Infinity SUV.
Year?
2017.
And sir, what do you drive?
I drive a diesel truck, Chevrolet.
Year?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's a 20.
Huh?
What?
Right? What?
You don't know what year your truck is, your vehicle is. I mean, that's like, did you brush your teeth this morning? Yeah. No.
And my husband doesn't know the year of his car, but he's not that type of person though either.
I mean,
I know.
somebody said that he just bumped her leg. I don't know. Let's see.
2017.
And sir, what do you drive?
I drive a diesel truck, Chevrolet.
Year?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's a 2021, I think.
So, air quotes, that's not exactly what that was at all. We now don't believe that 2 flashlights were observed around your home. Is that correct?
Yes.
You're very correct.
Okay. Question regarding your vehicles. Ms. Proudfoot, what make and model do you drive?
I drive a Infinity SUV.
Year?
2017.
And sir, what do you drive?
I drive a diesel truck, Chevrolet.
Year?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's a 2021, I think.
So your Infinity SUV was parked in the garage or outside the garage that night, Ms. Proudfoot?
In the garage.
In the garage. And Mr. Proudfoot, your vehicle was on location in Memphis. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So there's only one car at the home. Is that right?
There was actually a work vehicle in the driveway at the time as well, but it hasn't moved. We can't give out that information because we don't have permission from her work.
I don't understand that. What?
Yeah, this made no sense to me whatsoever.
Once again, that makes 0 sense to me. Listen to that one more time. Nancy was even like, huh? You know what I mean?
Permission from her work.
And sir, what do you drive?
I drive a diesel truck, Chevrolet.
Year?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's a 2021, I think.
So your Infinity SUV was parked in the garage or outside the garage that night, Ms. Proudfoot?
In the garage.
In the garage. And Mr. Proudfoot, your vehicle was on location in Memphis. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So there's only one car at the home. Is that right?
There was actually a work vehicle in the driveway at the time as well, but it hasn't moved. We can't give out that information because we don't have permission from her work.
I don't understand that. What?
About the make and model of the vehicle.
Why would you need permission from her job to give out that information?
Yeah, I don't.
It's a 2017 GMC work van. What the hell does that have any bearing on anything with her job? They don't care.
Right.
I think that's just another excuse for whatever reason.
I
Yeah.
have a work van that was also parked in the driveway.
Why is that? If it's out in the driveway where people can see it, why is that privileged information?
We just don't have permission from her company to divulge that information.
It's divulged
Have you
every time you drive down the road.
No, ma'am, we have not. Nobody's asked us
So
that
that
question.
was-
to be honest with you.
Okay. So you have a work van. Question to you, Ms. Proudfoot, what do you do for a living?
I am an installation technician.
She's an installation technician for a security, like a home security system company. For those of you that don't know.
like ADP or something, right?
That night, was the work van
Right.
blocking your driveway? Could someone go in and out of your driveway?
The van is parked at the back of my driveway, so someone can pull in, yes.
Got it. Do you park your Infiniti SUV in the garage or outside the garage?
In the garage.
In the garage. Do you have an automatic garage door?
With the clicker.
Right. Do you leave that up or down at night?
Down.
Could anybody lift it up? Like, is there an on and off button outside, or do you have to know a code or have the clicker to open it?
You'd have to know the code or have the clicker.
Does Sebastian know the code?
Not to the garage door, but to the man doors.
Not to the garage door, but to the house doors?
The regular door, yes.
So is there a code to get in your home, or do you use a regular key?
There's a code.
And he knows that code.
Yes, ma'am.
Question. I'm just trying to figure out how he would have gotten out, or if somebody came into the home. Could they have gotten through the garage door? No, unless they know the code or had the clicker, which they did not. Do you lock your doors at night?
Yes, ma'am.
Could he have left on his own through those doors?
He could, yes, ma'am.
But I heard in another interview where Mr. Proudfoot said he was not a, quote, wanderer. He didn't wander around. He had never left the home before on his own. Is that right?
Correct. We haven't had issues with him running or taking off in the past.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions regarding the doors. Do you have any home surveillance, anything at all that would have given us an idea or a clue if the door had been opened or not, or a window?
Not directly from our house.
Well, then from where?
That's what we were hoping, that neighborhood Ring cameras and may have picked something up.
Gotcha. I want to go back to that night. You said you were up till midnight. You were reading something. What were you reading?
A chapter for school.
A chapter for school. Are you in school?
I was, yes, ma'am. I've since dropped my classes for the time.
What are you studying?
Business administration.
Gotcha. Where do you go to school?
DeVry.
So that night you go to bed at midnight after you've been talking to Mr. Proudfoot on the phone. You put the dogs away in a cage.
They're in, sorry, for those of you that are curious, they're in his camper where he's staying. This is, by the way, guys, this is like a $80,000 RV, just so you guys know. It's not a cheap little camper. This is the real thing, as you can tell by looking at. That's where they're at right now, their RV that he pulled away. And there's a picture I can show you of the thing when he was hooked up to it that Clue had taken. Anyway, so yeah, I agree with the emotion thing. Hold on here. The house, Kim, it's pretty good sized house. Like I said, it's a $600,000 house. It looks pretty large, like it could have vaulted ceilings throughout in some places. And it is a ranch style type house. I showed it once. I can show it back again after the fact. So Carolyn says, see, that's a lie. On the first interview, Chris said she fell asleep on the couch at 10 p.m. and woke up from couch, went to bed at midnight. Correct.
Crate inside the home and you go to bed. Did you check on Sebastian at that time?
I did not.
Okay. Do you normally?
Not typically. Since he's gotten older, I've not been checking on him as frequently throughout the night, because normally he's good to go in his room once he goes to bed.
Earlier, you had stated you heard a noise in his room before you went to bed. What time was that?
Around 10 o'clock.
10 p.m. What did it sound like?
Just a thud.
A thud. You stated that you said, look, I don't care what you're doing in there. Go to bed. Is that right?
I was on the couch, which is near his room, and I said, Bubba, did you fall out of the bed? And he said, no, ma'am. And I said, well, whatever you're doing in there, knock it off and go to sleep.
Okay. That was added. Okay. The first couple times we heard this, she said, I heard a noise and I said, I don't care what you're doing, go to sleep. That was it. The whole Bubba, did you fall out of bed thing? That's brand new. And there was never a response from the child to her from that before. So that's new as well. That's been added to the story. I have a whole list of these things, folks, and I'm going to point every one of them out. There's a reason for it. Okay. So there's another one moving forward.
So you heard his voice at 10 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any idea what the sound actually was?
I do not know.
If he were to go out his window, what would he?
Now that's the thing. Okay, so a thud. She just heard a. That could be anything, but any parent hearing a thud is going to get up and go, what are you doing? Especially if you have an autistic child. I'm sorry. I do it with Caden constantly. What was that? What are you doing? What's going on? I go check. She did mention the thud in another interview. I'll say that, but it started off as just a noise. There was never a thud. Then the thud came out. Now we're moving on. So each interview, it seems to be a new piece. I don't know if this is practiced, scripted. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, moving forward.
He step on?
Mulch and bushes.
Did you say mulch or mush?
Mulch.
Mulch.
Mulch. Okay. Got it. Has he ever gone out the window before?
No, ma'am.
Is his room on the front of the house or the back of the house?
Front.
Front. Do any of your
I agree,
neighbors'
Sherry.
ring cams point toward your house? Could they pick that up?
They do, but it's so dark that they can only see it. After it gets so dark at night, they can only see certain things where there's light.
I thought there were the two lights on
the opposite side of the house.
Okay. Can we talk about Sebastian's shoes? Why are you convinced Sebastian left without shoes on? Or are you?
Well, the reason that came about is because all of his shoes are accounted for inside the house still.
Are you positive?
I'm positive.
How do you know what clothes he was wearing?
The clothes that we described are the ones I saw him in when he went to bed.
That morning, you woke up at 6 o'clock. Is that the normal time you wake up?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a heavy sleeper?
Off and on.
Do you take any medication at night that would make you sleep?
No, ma'am.
But you heard nothing.
I did not, no.
So we know he is alive and well at 10 p.m. At 6 a.m. He's gone. You say he's never left before. Is that right?
Correct. He's never run off before.
And could I confirm, where was his bio dad at the time he went missing?
That's a good point, Angel. She says, well, they go, you know how they say that the truth can come out in a lie. So maybe there was a thud when she went in there and did something, if she did. So that helps her with the lie that she's possibly telling. Does it make sense? And it does. It does. Absolutely. Okay, Molly, I'll get it as soon as we get through this, hon, because I have to pull this down to pull that up, but I will definitely check it here. Good points. And yeah, I'm glad you guys are really paying attention to this time too. Seriously, so good stuff, guys.
I believe he was at work in Nashville.
Okay, let's back up there. These started bothering me a lot hearing them say, or her say this mostly.
So we know he is alive and well at 10 p.m. At 6 a.m. he's gone. You say he's never left before. Is that right?
Correct. He's never run off before.
Now, something I caught between one of their interviews, well, this one too, and an interview that Seth had done twice now. Seth has stated, I could tell you some things, but they're kind of personal, and I don't want to put that out there. When that question was brought up, has he ever done this before? Anything like this before? I could tell you some things, but I'm not going to because they're kind of personal. So some things have happened, I think, in the past that they don't want to bring out because they're personal issues. And okay, I'm good with that. I respect, Seth saying that and their privacy per se. I absolutely respect that. But again, I have a feeling that there have been some forms of issues in the past. You still there, Mama Bear? Did she fall asleep?
No, I'm here. I'm eating popcorn.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, moving on. 1 second here. Yeah, I'm kind of there with you, Sue. Just checking, making sure the chat following along. Absolutely. I think most of us would have as parents, Molly. I agree. Just saying.
And could I confirm, where was his bio dad at the time he went missing?
I made myself completely forget what I was talking about. So right there when she answers that question. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Right here.
You say he's never left before. Is that right?
Correct. He's never run off before.
And could I confirm, where was his bio dad at the time he went missing?
I believe he was at work in Nashville.
She says, I believe a lot. Okay, with things that she should absolutely know. Okay, and that she has clarified before that she absolutely knew. Now with Seth, she may not know. Okay, because she's not close to him anymore. But I'm just saying, she says that I believe thing quite a few times. If maybe that's just the way she talks. Okay, but I'm saying that we've picked this stuff apart with certain answers and things like that. So just saying.
Had there been any family argument or altercation prior to him going missing?
No, ma'am.
There was a slight pause, and she looks to the right when she answers that question, okay? That doesn't have to mean anything. I'm just telling you, if you do go with body language, you follow these things. That's all I'm saying.
And Mr. Proudfoot, when did you leave town?
Early February.
So you had been gone for days before he went missing. Is that correct?
Correct,
Weeks.
ma'am.
Now, he agrees with Nancy saying days. Katie says weeks. Okay, she threw that in for whatever reason. So this is going to get a little confusing here, and I want you guys to follow along with this. And I didn't need to be confusing. That's what I don't understand.
Had you visited home since you left?
You said from when I initially left?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I came home February 26th, the morning I was told that he was missing.
From the time that you left for the job in Memphis to February 26th, did you visit the home?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
I was home. I can't give exact dates. Law enforcement has told me not to provide exact dates, but I had been home multiple times prior to February.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that was pretty understandable. She said it a couple times. How, had you been home at all since you left in early February that they just talked about for the job in Memphis? Okay. It goes back to January. What does that have to do? Like, that's not, I don't understand why that even came out. So that's something. I'm not saying that's a discrepancy. I'm just saying that's something that doesn't even need to be thrown in here for whatever reason it was. Yeah, Mama Bear, he did mention about slippers as well. Exactly, Kimber. This is not relevant at all, but why did you bring that in here?
And then I left early February and then didn't come back till February 26th, the morning he was missing.
So you were not home from the time you left early February till Feb 26. Is that right?
Correct, man.
Which, if we think about this, this is his job, okay? Which means it's a full-time job. He has this camper. He takes it with him. He travels to wherever job site he's going to, and he stays there because he stays there. He stays gone for weeks at a time, and he may come back and forth every now and then, but he's gone for a month at a time. Katie, meaning this is the only child in the household, is left alone with Sebastian a lot. Okay. She's also left alone to her own devices a lot by herself. So roughly, yeah, a month he was out. And before that, who knows? And before that, who knows? So this could be an ongoing process where this man is leaving his family and his home for a month at a time, multiple weeks at a time, who knows, couple months at a time, depending on how far away it is. Okay. Remember that, which again says that Katie spends a lot of time by herself with Sebastian. Now, I've heard multiple different people, including his own biological father, talk about possible behavioral issues that are issues, I guess you could say. And when it gets into the whole belt thing, which is going to be hard to get through because it pisses me off, again, disciplinary actions because of behavioral issues, which is wrong for this child having autism. It's not how you deal with it. So we put all this stuff together, okay? And think about it. If she's left alone a lot with a child that has some behavioral issues, you can get to a point where you just can't deal with it sometimes, okay? That's all I'm saying. 100%, which includes acting out. We also know that Sebastian, there was comments made about pull-ups, that he has accidents here and there. And, multiple people have agreed with me that those accidents at his age are caused by some form of trauma in his life. It's not a sample. It's not a normal thing. Okay. And it could go along also with his, he's got some medical issues along with the autism things and so on and so forth. But again, these are just things that I'm pointing out to you guys. So, Trail Mustangs 14. Seth did say Katie goes to see Chris when he has. Yeah, that's true. That is absolutely true. I don't buy it. Why would law enforcement tell him not to give out days he was home? This guy uses Ellie as a crutch. I'm starting to feel that way, AG, because he does it a lot. I'm not allowed to say this. I'm not allowed to say that. Ellie told me I can't say this and I can't say that. The thing is we follow a lot of these cases and we typically know how law enforcement works and what's allowed to be spoken about in these cases and what's not. Some of those things in my mind just don't match up to what we typically see. So I'm just saying that's my opinion. And that's a fact as well. If they're not telling Seth anything, they're definitely not telling these two anything.
Where were you living in Memphis?
I have an RV trailer that I stay in at an RV park.
RV park. Okay. Following back up on that morning, you search the home as Proudfoot, then you get in your vehicle and you start searching. Did Sebastian know how to drive?
No, ma'am.
Was your car in the same location when you woke up that morning as it was the night before?
Yes, ma'am.
Has your car been searched by police?
Multiple times. Yes, ma'am.
Have scent dogs looked at your car?
Yes, ma'am.
So your car's in the same place. You get in the car, you start looking in the neighborhood for him. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you call Mr. Proudfoot, right?
I believe I was already on the phone with him at that point.
Okay. Question: who called 911?
I did.
Okay. So initially, when that question was asked, we hear it was a three-way call that was made with both of them to the sheriff's department. Now, I don't know if he's just missing that and thinking that he was the caller because he made the initial dial, or if it changed that, if that changed again now. Okay, that's just something I can't say for a fact, and I'm just pointing it out as another slight discrepancy in what we've heard before.
You did.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
time?
Without looking at a call log, I can't give you the exact time, but on or about 6:20.
And had you guys been talking on the phone before 6 a.m. or did you initially call Mr. Proudfoot at the time you realized Sebastian was gone?
I called him when I realized Sebastian was gone.
And yet again, now I don't know if this is because she's afraid of the situation, but or if it's because this is her husband, her partner's the person she's closest to. But Sebastian's biological father is way closer than Chris Proudfoot is to her. It is his father, and he's also in law enforcement. She could have called him first and said, "Hey, Sebastian is missing. I don't know what to do," and then go on forward that way. Okay. But she chose to call him first, which again could be because this is her current husband, closest person to her, and that's what makes her, that's what she does in a panic moment. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that um I don't know. I'm just saying people are seeing these nudges that are happening. Let me check this. Supposedly when he says the time.
You did.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
time?
Without looking at a call log, I can't give you the exact time, but on or about 6:20.
And had you guys been talking on the phone before 6 a.m. or did you initially call Mr. Proudfoot at the time you realized Sebastian was gone?
I called him when I realized Sebastian was gone.
Have you guys been out looking for Sebastian?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We were given information that you guys have left the home. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
I'm going back to work.
You're going back to work. What about you, Miss Proudfoot?
No, I'm not going back to work. Not yet, at least.
Did you leave the home also?
Now, one other thing I wanted to point out, guys. Yeah, I did see it too. That was, unless they're just can't sit still or something, but yeah, I saw it. So here we go with something else that's bugged me with this. One of the big things that was talked about very early on in their interviews was that she didn't want to leave the home in case he came home. Unless, in case Sebastian came back walking through the door, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Why has that changed now? Now, I get we're going to hear some of this, and I don't really hold that real high on the truth table, but about he's leaving to go back to work. Okay. I still think he probably could have taken some time off if he has a good setting with his company, whatever. This
But
is
at the
a
beginning of the interview, didn't he say he was off work because of the situation?
Mhm.
And then halfway through the interview, now he's going back to work.
Going back to work. Okay. Seth was able to take a leave of absence. This is a missing child, you guys. People will work around these things. It's not just like you have a skinned knee or a sprained ankle or you have the flu. Your child's missing. So no, I can't. I just need to know the steps taken to rule these two out. It's a big point. That's a huge
Yeah.
thing right there, because I don't think they have been done. They keep claiming that they're cleared. They're not cleared. Okay, that's the thing. Why do you keep saying that? Because you're not cleared. And nobody's cleared in this. Seth cleared that up real quick and said there's nobody that's been cleared. So 100%, like job or no job, I get it. Job is important, so on and so forth. But excuse me, sorry. I couldn't. I couldn't go back to work. Again, I wouldn't want to leave her by herself, but she's going with him. I get it. Still, that doesn't fit into the box for me. I'm sorry.
Miss Proudfoot.
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
To accompany my husband going back to work, and then I'm coming back.
Now, did you see the look on her face when she answers that? Almost as if she's embarrassed to give that answer. Well, what? I mean, maybe it's just me. That's how I took that. Okay. Watch this response again.
No, I'm not going back to work. Not yet, at least.
Did you leave the home also, Miss Proudfoot?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
To accompany my husband going back to work, and then I'm coming back.
Okay, when will you be back? Do you know yet?
No, not yet.
Are you concerned about being away while the search is ongoing?
Absolutely, I am.
Then why are you going?
Because my son could be anywhere, and we're looking everywhere and anywhere.
How does that make sense?
Mm-mm.
That doesn't, listen, one more time.
Because my son could be anywhere and work, and then I'm coming back.
So she's going to escort him to his job site, and then she's going back home. Okay. That's what she says first. Then moving on.
Okay, when will you be back? Do you know yet?
No, not yet.
Are you concerned about being away while the search is ongoing?
Absolutely, I am.
Then why are you going?
Because my son could be anywhere, and we're looking everywhere and anywhere.
Now, tell me how this fits together, folks, because I don't think it does at all. She's escorting her husband back to his job, and then she's coming back. And Nancy says, "Are you worried about leaving the home to go do this?" And she says, "Yes, absolutely." Nancy says, "Then why are you going?" And she says, "Because my son could be anywhere and everywhere, or everywhere and anywhere, and we're looking everywhere." Does that make any sense to me at all, or to anybody at all? Anybody? That doesn't even fit into the same conversation to me. That's just weird. A weird answer. Like she gave two separate answers to the same question.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? She just gave two different answers to the same question. Sebastian could be anywhere, but we're looking everywhere and anywhere, being away from the area that he went missing in. I mean, I agree he could be anywhere. I've said that. He could be in Alaska at this point, but that didn't make sense to me at all.
I've got a question for you.
Yes,
I want to find out about Mr. Proudfoot hitting Sebastian with a belt. What happened?
That was actually several years ago, and it
To
was
Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot.
I love how she did
Mr.
that.
Proudfoot, what happened?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you were asking Katie. Sebastian had gotten in trouble. He got caught lying. And I had asked him, I said, "Hey, you got to have a punishment for this." He says, yes, sir. And I said, okay. So I gave him.
And I can almost promise you that Sebastian did not say yes, sir, to him about that. Okay. And this really inflamed me. Yeah, you're right. The boom, I did catch that. So when he explains this, other than pissing me off, and I'm sure about everybody else in America, there's an issue with this. Okay, just listen close to how this is explained.
A swat with a belt on his buttocks on the outside of his clothes. One swat.
What did he lie about?
I honestly, I don't remember at the time, but it was probably something dealing with school because that's majority where his issues lie.
Did he have other issues at school?
Some behavioral stuff, but nothing too crazy.
What kind of behavioral stuff?
He has a hard time. He's like awkwardly socially like blending in with students, so it's a little. He's trying to figure out how to do it.
So you're going to punish him for lying about that because he's uncomfortable and he doesn't get social cues. My child doesn't either, and I know what that is. Okay. So because he's trying to fit in, he's awkward, he's struggling with getting social cues and does not fit in with other kids. I know that breaks my heart because I deal with that. Okay. And because he lied about it, because he's probably humiliated, one, or worried that whatever he did is going to be punished for by Mr. Strict here.
Right.
Okay. And there's nothing wrong with being strict if you're a normal child. There's a thing I have with that. And it's coming here when he says this.
But respecting people's space, he gets a little too close. And then kids don't really accept that too much. So it kind of causes an issue. But he'll not stop and he continues on. So then it causes an issue. And instead of being honest about it, he'll lie. Like, no, I didn't.
Now, one huge thing that I want to explain to you guys, this is why this makes me so mad. These children, most of the time, do not realize they're doing that. They don't know that what they're doing is not welcomed at times, okay? They don't understand that it's bugging people. My child didn't at all. He didn't get it until I had to sit him down and hurt his feelings and tell him that people don't like that, okay? You do not punish a child for that, ever. But this guy thinks that you got to punish him because he lied. Because he probably, one, mostly didn't realize when he's saying, I didn't do that. I didn't do that, because he doesn't realize he's doing it. Or two, if he did realize it, he's humiliated about it. In turn, that's embarrassing. Third, the worst, knew what was going to happen because of it, okay? Every bit of this is bullshit. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay, Sebastian.
We're lying about doing
Was
what?
that the first time?
What did she say?
Yeah, she just said something too. Hold on.
I didn't catch that the first time.
So then it causes an issue. And instead of being honest about it, he'll lie. Like, no, I didn't. Okay, Sebastian.
We're lying about doing
Was
what?
that the first time?
Or lying about what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or lying about was that the first time? Wait a minute.
And instead of being honest about it, he'll lie. Like, no, I didn't. Okay, Sebastian.
We're lying about doing
Was
what?
that the first time?
Damn it, Nancy.
Right.
Or lying about something else she was trying to say. So, okay.
Probably.
Did anybody else catch it or lying about? Oh, thank you. Or lying about doing homework.
Hmm.
Again, autism.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. This pisses me off so damn bad. Anyway,
Was that the first time you had ever hit him with a belt?
Yes, ma'am. The one and only time, actually.
When was this?
Years ago, ma'am.
thank you, Zelda, very much.
Any
Appreciate it.
idea how many? 3, 10, 1?
It probably at least 3 years ago.
I don't understand.
So one and only time. If you're going to do it once, why would you not do it any other times? If that's your form of punishment, why would you only do it once and only ever in this child's life?
Right.
I struggle with believing that. I'm sorry. And that's another good question. How many times did he hit him without a belt? Okay. Or with something else? I'm just saying, I have trouble with that.
I mean,
And
if it's something as simple as lying about whatever, and you're gonna go to the extreme of using a belt, I mean, what kind of punishment did this poor child get for something minor, like not rinsing his bowl after he got done eating his cereal or something? I mean,
right.
geez.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, this child's well, okay, so he said it was years ago, so 15, 14, 13, 12, 11 or 12 years old still. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Understand how that turned into a CPS or Child Protective Services complaint. How were they alerted that you hit him with a belt?
That did not turn into a CPS request.
All right, now we're at another lie. Because in another interview, which I will find and show you, he tells the whole story.
Good night,
welcome.
Zelda. I'm
Good
about
night,
headed there
Zelda.
myself.
And welcome, Slow Southern Style. Thank you for joining us. So in another interview, he tells a whole story about how when that happened, Sebastian went to school and spoke to a teacher, principal, something, and because they're mandated reporters, they have to do that type thing. CPS was informed, and a social worker showed up at their home. Did I or did I not hear that in another interview, folks?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I heard it, you heard it because I showed it to you. Okay? She said that before about homework a little bit, says, okay. There's another big thing, homework. Okay. From a child that is very smart, I'm sure, but they don't take it in and they don't absorb it like they're supposed to. So
Or they
again,
go to extremes. Like my son, last year would work on his homework to the point of perfectionism and would take 4 or 5 hours. And now this year he's done the complete opposite and he doesn't do homework, period.
exactly. And Caden will go in and do his very best. Okay. He'll sit through an entire class. It could be a history class. Math is the worst, but a history class even. And they have a subject on Nazi Germany. They go through the whole thing. He'll leave and go to the next class and doesn't remember one thing about that subject that they just talked about because it doesn't absorb. He doesn't absorb it. Does that make sense? It just
Yep.
doesn't happen. No fault of his own, but it just doesn't. He doesn't grasp onto it. Okay. So just saying.
Service call.
There were other CPS.
It probably at least 3 years ago.
I don't understand how that turned into a CPS or Child Protective
Good question,
Services
Emma.
complaint. How were they alerted
that
that you hit him with a belt?
That did not turn into a CPS service call.
There were other CPS reports, right? Were they regarding your other child?
There is one in regards to my daughter that I know of out in New Mexico with my ex-wife and myself.
Mhm.
What happened?
At the time, my ex-wife had fled to New Mexico with my daughter. We're going through a custody and a divorce case at that time. And at the time, when I'd call and try to check in on my daughter, I could never reach my ex-wife at that time. So a welfare check was requested.
That's true. What a little bit saying, and I think it was I can't think of his name from the lab that challenged that. I can't remember his first name, but yeah, and that's another good way to put it. She fled to Mexico.
Yeah.
What is she fleeing from?
Or
She
who?
didn't move. She didn't move to Mexico or
Josh. That's
leave.
what I thought.
Josh. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. It was Josh. I know for a fact that was him. So yeah, great point. A little bit.
Law enforcement told me to call CPS if I had concerns. So I called CPS. Law enforcement did make a welfare call, and that was it.
Then how does that turn into a CPS complaint against you?
I have no idea, ma'am. There's a lot of misinformation out there right now in regards to my New Mexico case that actually has no relevance to the Sebastian case.
No, I've never seen videos of Sebastian. Actually questioned that, like why we haven't seen videos of Sebastian, but no, I haven't. I'd like to know where to see those, Jody, if you have any idea. Breeze to win. What got me in one of their interviews is Chris saying no malice and Katie saying, fun fact, I voted breakfast that morning with a slight grin. Red flags for me. Agreed. Very good. Good points. Exactly, Salty. This all connects. Carolyn's saying storytellers 100%. Being a parent is an honor, and you're 100% right, Pamela.
Yeah.
And not everyone deserves to be parents, and it's so sad. All children deserve to be in loving homes with parents who are loving and involved, especially a special child like this.
Yes.
Mostly, more than anything, a child like this. And I say it myself, folks, that children don't come with handbooks. They don't come with instructions that we as parents do the best that we can. But when you have a child that has special needs, you do extra things. You go extra hard. You bend over backwards, upside down, and inside out to make sure that that child can have a normal life. Okay? Doesn't seem like it's happening.
Nope.
I
On that
sent
note,
that
I'm gonna
favorite
hop off here.
in
I
New
gotta
Mexico.
go to bed.
Oh, okay. Have a good night, hon. Thank you.
All right. Good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. And thank you, Molly. I will pull that up, like I said, once we get through this for sure. Jesus, I can't, guys, with this. NG knows. They aren't restricted. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Why is she in that trailer with him? Why is she allowed to stay home? Yeah, there's no restrictions on that. What was his punishment for not worrying about and saying he was? Probably that. I agree, Kim. You aren't gonna find Sebastian by squeezing these two. Well, in a sense, you're probably right, but it's gonna help me to understand, maybe, or any of us, what happened and who was involved and who wasn't for sure. I think that's what a lot of this is about. That's all.
Then was there even a CPS complaint against you in New Mexico?
Not that I am aware of. And my attorney and myself are well educated on my case, and there's nothing that we know of.
Was there a TRO taken out against you regarding
Yes, ma'am.
your daughter?
Not a TRO, but a TPO.
Which are almost basically the same exact thing. Temporary protection order or a what the hell is it? Temporary restriction, I think. It depends on where you're at, what state. They change the names. Okay, thank you, Salty.
A temporary protective order. Why was that taken out?
So in regards to that case, my ex-wife had a TPO put against her in Tennessee at the time. When we went to court, that got dissolved. I was ordered to hand my daughter back over to my ex-wife at the time. She gets in a truck. She fleds to New Mexico. 2 days later, she files one in retaliation.
Is it still in place?
No, ma'am, that was dropped within, I think, 2 weeks of it being put in place.
And that doesn't happen either, guys. A TPO is not going to, it's going to go into effect for a certain amount of time. It ain't going to be 2 weeks. Okay. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
I've got a question about the belt incident. You're telling me that was the only time that you ever hit Sebastian with a belt.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're also telling me that did not make it to CPS?
No, ma'am, that did not.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
Regarding Faith's furniture.
Yes,
A few
ma'am.
days after Sebastian goes missing, did you replace furniture in Faith's room?
No, ma'am, I have not replaced any furniture in my daughter's room.
Is there any new furniture in the home?
Yes, ma'am, there's a bed that was given to me and it's currently in my garage.
Is it still in place?
No, ma'am, that was dropped.
Hit Sebastian with a belt.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're also telling me that did not make it to CPS?
No, ma'am, that did not.
Question.
Jody says, Dago, I don't know if it's okay to mention other creators, but that's where I saw them. This person's shown them from either Twitter or Facebook, but it's on YouTube. I can tell you, yeah, you can. I've told you guys before, you don't have to worry about that. You're allowed to mention other creators in here as long as you're not like being rude or nasty or saying bad things about them. Absolutely, you're allowed. Yes, restraining order. Thank you guys. But yeah, you can do that, and that's perfectly fine, Jody. No problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Regarding Faith's furniture.
Yes,
A few
ma'am.
days after Sebastian goes missing, did you replace furniture in Faith's room?
No, ma'am, I have not replaced any furniture in my daughter's room.
Is there any new furniture in the home?
Yes, ma'am, there's a bed that was given to me and it's currently in my garage.
Has anything been taken out of the home?
No, ma'am.
My question for that was, where did that even come from? So there's something that somebody said or saw that was happening. I'm guessing maybe in the neighborhood of something being removed from the home, a bed, or being brought in, or what? Why? And why his daughter's room? That was kind of weird to me. That's the only thing I took from that. But
I was curious about a statement that Miss Proudfoot made earlier that canine dogs hit on the barn around the home and near a retention pond. Did that happen?
I'm not sure about the barn, but the retention pond, yes.
Because law enforcement says the dogs did not hit. But Miss
There's
Proudfoot says they did hit around the retention pond.
So there's been a lot of miscommunication in regards to help clear that up.
thank you, Jody. I'll have to check that out. Let me write it down real quick. What is it? Novesti. No City. Okay. Novesit. I will definitely check it out with you guys. And I appreciate that very much. I agree. They bought a new mattress. I don't know why all of a sudden. It's just weird that it happened at that point, I guess. So, okay. Someone said a bed was taken out of the house. I've heard that as well. The garbage search from Kentucky, probably. Yes, there's another good point. All of these things are good points. This is good right here. Yes. Here we go.
Hit. But Miss
There's been
Proudfoot
a
says they did hit around the retention pond.
so there's been a lot of miscommunication in regards to what is and what is not. To help clear that up, law enforcement has actually spoken directly with me, showed me a few things. What I can tell you is from day one, there was 5 dogs that started the scent for the search. And then after that, from the next 8 days out from that, there have been dogs from all over the country that have come in and done searches and had scent hits in various locations. But I would say a certain percentage of them tend to go toward the same spot, which would have been a retention pond.
So the law enforcement dogs did not hit on the retention pond. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying they did. There was at least 3 that I know for a fact that did hit on the retention pond.
And the pond has been drained, correct? And there was nothing there.
Yes, ma'am. They have walked it, drained it, and there's nothing. The retention pond was only knee deep anyways.
On one occasion, Mr. Proudfoot, you stated that you and Mrs. Proudfoot have been, quote, vetted and cleared of foul play. That was stated on Chronicles of Olivia. Is that true? What do you mean by that?
Yes. So after working with law enforcement of all agencies, they have actually told us that there is no foul play, no nefarious issues. We've been cleared of all wrongdoing. We are working extremely cooperative with all law enforcement agencies. At any point in time that they've called, come to the house, anything.
Was Sebastian angry or upset before he disappeared?
No, ma'am.
Not to my knowledge.
What is your theory about where is Sebastian?
I wish I knew where he was, to be honest.
Your theory.
I think it's possible that someone has my son,
Why?
because I feel like if he had been close to the house or had walked off, that we would found him by now with as many people as we had searching.
Have you checked his social media?
He doesn't have social media.
Have you checked his phone?
His phone has been thoroughly checked. Yes, ma'am.
Have you handed your phones to police, both of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, we have.
Has police searched all of your devices, your laptop, your iPad, everything?
Everything. Yes, ma'am.
Other than you, Miss Proudfoot, who is the last person that saw or heard Sebastian alive the Sunday before he went missing?
2 of his aunts, a cousin, and the staff where we had dinner.
And that was at BJ's the night before or the bowling alley?
So BJ's, and then we went to the bowling alley, and then after the bowling alley, we went to dinner before coming home.
I want to follow up again on the dogs hitting. Earlier, Ms. Proudfoot had stated the dogs hit around the house, the barn, and at the retention pond. Is that correct?
I don't know about the barn, but I do know that they did track to the pond. Yes.
Did the dogs also hit around the house?
Yes, ma'am.
On the outside of the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Were they scent dogs or cadaver dogs?
They brought in both cadaver and tracking dogs.
Which dog hit, a cadaver dog or a scent dog?
Scent dog.
It's all been scent dogs that have hit. The cadaver dogs have not hit on anything that we know of.
What do you believe Sebastian was wearing when he disappeared? And would that have been what he slept in?
Yes. So the clothes, the black sweatpants with the white stripes and the long sleeve black shirt, that is what he went to bed in. And the reason that I believe he was still wearing those clothes is because when we searched, I did not find those clothes in the house. So I have to assume that that's what he was still wearing.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Did you say that's what he wore when he went to bed?
Yes, ma'am.
Joining us right now, in addition to Katie Proudfoot and Chris Proudfoot, the bio mom and stepdad of Sebastian, an all-star panel. First to Brian Trasher joining us, Vice President of the Cajun Navy, who has joined the search. Brian, thank you for being with us. Who asked you to join the search?
Well, we had deployed a team up to Nashville, Tennessee last week in response to the missing college student, Riley Strain. And we stayed up there until he was found. While we were in the area, we had a lot of people reaching out to us on social media saying that there was a young boy who had been missing for several weeks that was only about 20 miles away from where we were. So we talked to a few people, got some information, and decided to deploy part of our team that was already up there to Sumter County to investigate and see what we could do to help out.
You went on your own. Were you asked to join?
We were asked to join. I'm not sure specifically who some of our people talk to, but we get requests all the time, and we'll reach out. We'll try to get either a family member or a close friend of the family, just so we know we're talking to people connected to the family. And somebody had reached out and asked us to join since we already had assets so close to Sumter County.
Tell me what you have been doing, Brian Trasher. Everyone with me, the VP of the Cajun Navy, who has joined in the search. You can find them at CajunNavyRelief.com. Brian, tell me what you guys have been doing.
Just we're the United Cajun Navy. We're the original group that everybody hears about. There's other groups that use the Cajun Navy name to try to fundraise off of our efforts. Cajun Navy Relief is not affiliated with us at all. We are www.unitedcajunnavy.org. We're the original. We're the real ones.
Again, what exactly have you been doing on the search?
So we've had a canine, our own canine team who is already participating in the search for Riley Strain up there searching around. We've talked with the lead investigator with Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Agent Simmons. We've talked a lot with him and trying to coordinate efforts, because we always try to coordinate with law enforcement, make sure we're not getting in the way, duplicating efforts, or putting out any.
You know what, Mr. Trasher, let me just cut the chase here. Isn't it true that this weekend, pursuant to your search, that cadaver dogs hit in an area that had been closed off because of a prior hurricane, and it is on federal property? Bones and other items were found at that time. I found that very odd, as it would relate to Sebastian. Even if it was Sebastian, his body would not have been skeletonized at this time. Can you tell me now that what was found over the weekend is not connected to Sebastian? Yes, no?
No.
Not connected to Sebastian.
That hit was, yeah, that's correct. That hit was not connected to Sebastian.
Okay. Joining me also, in addition to Brian Trasher, who has been leading the Cajun Navy in its search for Sebastian. Hold on, Brian. Other than those hits, have there been any other dog hits in and around the home or elsewhere?
Not from our canine team.
I'm very concerned, Brian, as you can imagine, because LE law enforcement has stated there were no canine hits outside the home, which I find very, very disturbing. Because if he had gone outside, particularly barefoot, there would definitely have been a scent trail. Now, we're hearing from the Proudfoots that there was a hit around that retention pond. How far is that pond from your home, Mr. Proudfoot?
Less than probably half a mile if you walk the whole path.
Is it through wooded area? Would he have had to walk through the woods to get there?
No, ma'am. You can actually walk either the main road or the subdivision. So the construction site is a subdivision, new addition that's being built, and they have a road that's going to be tied into our subdivision. So you could actually walk up that way, or you could walk to the main road and walk into it.
Did Sebastian ever sleepwalk?
Welcome back, Cassie.
No, ma'am.
So he would have had to leave the house undetected by Katie and walk all the way to that retention pond. Did the dogs follow the trail a half a mile?
Yes, ma'am.
They followed the trail all the way to that retention pond?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
That's very curious.
Now, absolutely, Leslie. Thank you for being here. Has anybody ever heard of a scent going from their home to a retention pond that a dog followed an entire half mile to get to? Because I haven't. The only thing I've ever heard of, period, was a scent that was picked up at the construction site and lost almost immediately there. That was it. Okay? That's exactly what I'm saying, Molly. This is what I was talking about. I caught this earlier. No scent outside the home means someone was carrying him. Well, that's, yeah, okay. And that's what I'm saying. Not a half a mile. No, no, at all. We heard that a dog went to the construction site, picked up a scent there, and then lost it almost immediately. This is a brand new piece of info that we never heard before. I didn't, at least. I'm sorry. You may have heard it before me, but I had not. But then at the same time, law enforcement is saying that's not true. What's right and what's wrong, folks? So is this something that's not supposed to be being put out? And then, yes, the pond was drained. According to this guy here, it was only knee deep. I don't know what this is, what's true and what's not, guys. That's what I'm having issues with now. This is interesting to me. We have not seen that on video tracking either. That's right, Carolyn. Nothing. That's a whole new thing to me. Okay. And that's the first time I've heard that the pond was drained as well. Back to the video.
As they are saying the dogs didn't pick anything up. Back to you, Brian Trasher. Did you guys search anywhere other than that federal property where the false positive was? Yes, no?
No.
Joining me is Courtney Lasky, high-profile behavior analyst, autism expert, chief clinical officer with Little Starts Therapy. Courtney, thank you for being with us. At this juncture, we know Sebastian to be most likely with people he doesn't know, if in fact he is still alive. How would that affect a young boy with autism?
Welcome, Gray.
It would affect him greatly. Based on the diagnosis of autism, we know that they typically have deficits with communication, social skills, and they display some rigid and repetitive behaviors. If, in fact, he is with someone else who does not know him well, that would be entirely out of his routine. He could be engaging in behaviors that he hasn't engaged in before. He could be looking for an escape. He could be looking to get out of those aversive situations. We know that not every autistic individual will wander, but those who do wander, 36%, it's to get out of an aversive situation. It's to get away from something that's overwhelming.
We've also been told that Sebastian is very, very much attracted to water. Okay. I hate to even put this thought in the universe, guys. But if Sebastian got out of the house somehow, I still don't understand they're saying that he was tracked to the pond. The pond was drained. You know, what if he got out of the house, went to the water, something happened, he goes in and he drowns. And she finds him. Doesn't know what to do. That's the only other thing I can think of that would make any sense. Okay. And I don't want to go into that. I just don't want to go into that. Okay. Because I don't want to do that. because somebody sent me that in an email and said, what if that happened once this was brought out? And I've never heard law enforcement clarify that this has happened. I've never heard anybody clarify that this has happened. So I don't understand where this came from all of a sudden. Did you see Brian Enton talking to his real dad? Biological dad says the mom and Mr. Chris are not talking to him for days. Why, and hide? It's a good question, Leslie. I do not know. Yeah, so does Caden. Caden would swim every day, all day if he could. I mean, any of that's possible. And that's the other problem, though. Would he leave at night to go to that pond alone? No, because he's scared of the dark. We know that, okay? And that little dinky ass flashlight thing is not going to help. So there's the other issue. Thank you, Molly.
Calming or overstimulating to them.
Ms. Proudfoot, does he know your phone number? Can he call you if he could get access to a phone?
We have gone over my phone number. I don't know that in a high stress time he would remember it, but yes, I have taught him my phone number.
Was he ever allowed to go visit friends' homes?
He didn't get invited, but had he been, yes, we have had play dates in the past.
Would he go there on foot?
No, ma'am.
Joining me now is Lauren Conlon, investigative journalist, host of the Outlier podcast, host of Corruption, What Happened to Grant Solomon. And you can find her at laurenconlon.com. Lauren, thank you so much for being with us. What can you tell me about that stretch of road, if anything, between Sebastian's home and that retention pond?
Well, look, Nancy, I mean, I think like everything else about this case, it is very confusing because the public hasn't heard much from the police. We haven't heard much from the Proudfoots, obviously, when it comes to that, or Seth Rogers. And now I'm learning a lot here as I hear Chris Proudfoot say, okay, we can't speak about this because of law enforcement. And now with the Cajun Navy coming in, I think a lot of us are very excited that they are going to basically canvass this road. And they are actually telling civilians to hang back. Nobody needs to search this anymore. You need to stop. You need to stop helping and let us work with law enforcement and take over. Now, I called the Sumner County Sheriff's Office yesterday because of all the misinformation going around. And I got to be honest with you, they didn't even know what was going on with this road, with the recreation search. They were either very elusive or they were very confused. But either way, it's very concerning because the people, as well as myself, I don't live in Tennessee. I cover a lot of Tennessee. We are very concerned for Sebastian. We are very concerned. And so,
okay, so let me just stop you right there, Ms. Conlon. Ms. Conlon, everyone is concerned, but let me remind everyone that law enforcement is under no duty at all to tell us or anybody else, including the Proudfoots, anything. They are not representing the Proudfoots. They are representing justice, and they will do what they have to do. The fact that they're not giving us a blow by blow is their business. Does it mean they're stymied? I don't know. Does it mean they know more than we think they do? I don't know the answer to that. But just because they're not releasing an ongoing investigative file is not a concern to me. At this juncture, I'm collecting facts in the best way I know how. Now, regarding that route from the Proudfoot home to the retention pond, is it your understanding, Lauren Conlon, that there were no hits by scent or cadaver dogs along that route?
Correct, Nancy. It is my understanding there were no hits from the dogs.
It is very confusing. It's confusing. You know, sometimes, Lauren, when we try to put together a puzzle, but we're missing a few pieces and we don't know what piece we're missing, you can't put the puzzle together. We're missing things from this puzzle. And right now, I'm on a fact-finding mission. I am pointing the finger.
So we're hearing from the Proudfoots that those dogs tracked a half mile from their home down that road or path to this pond. This Lauren woman is saying that she spoke with law enforcement and they're saying that didn't happen. If we're not already confused, I think we're confused. Okay. Why would somebody come out right and say that? Is that a part of a narrative that's supposed to be spun to go along with the story? I'm just saying Nancy is pissed off, period. That's why she said, we're all concerned. I agree. Sorry that I froze it like that, Nancy. Sorry, guys. But anyway, is it going to change? That's still not better.
No one.
Okay, that's a little better. But anyway, who do we believe? Do we believe this woman that said that law enforcement told her that? Do we believe these two? But it's two completely separate. They're two opposite directions, which is insane to me. That we're all in the same interview and it's coming off that way. That's crazy to me.
Because I want to find Sebastian. I want to go to Dr. Jory Crossan joining me. And guys, again, please, Proudfoots, Trasher, Lasky, Conlon, jump in if you have a thought or you want to contradict, because a lot of this is elusive. We don't know everything. To you, Jory Crossan, joining us, former law enforcement, now faculty, St. Leo University, very well-known psychologist and author of Operation SOS. You can find him at drjory.com. Dr. Jory, thank you for being with us. Many people have made much of the fact that when interviewed, the Proudfoots do not look at the camera, they look away, they don't cry, and they don't seem upset. Now, that may or may not mean anything. People can be very upset, crying, screaming, cursing. They may show no emotion at all. They may be numb by the time interviews are happening. I'm very different. When I talk about my fiance's murder or I talk about my dad's death, I still cry, even when I swear I'm not going to. But everyone reacts differently. I'm going to throw this directly to Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot. Much has been made. I'll ask you. You very often look away, don't look at who's asking you questions, show no emotion. Much has been made of that. And I'd like to hear your response. I'm not judging one way or the other. I'd like to hear your response.
To the fact of not looking at the camera all the time is because a picture of my son is sitting beside me, and I'm looking at him. As far as the crying thing, I have been crying off and on nonstop for a month.
Many people have asked me, why did Miss Proudfoot not call 911 immediately? And here's your chance to answer that.
Because by the time I realized my son was missing and I called my husband, at that point I was hysterical. I was at the point where I couldn't even form words anymore, and my husband is the one who remained calm enough to call them.
And to be honest with you, Miss Grace, the way we live outside of city limits, so you don't call 911 because you get routed to a dispatching hub who asks what's your location, and then they route you to another dispatcher to talk to give this story. I cut all of that out and I called straight to the sheriff's department because they have jurisdiction of where we live. So sorry that I decided to bypass a few steps and go straight to the source, where they responded within 10 minutes of the phone call being made.
There's the Chris that we know.
That evening, were you drinking?
No, ma'am.
Had you used any type of drug at all, even OTC, over the counter? At all, even
source, where they responded within 10 minutes of the phone call being made.
Miss Proudfoot, that evening, were you drinking?
No, ma'am.
Had you used any type of drug at all, even OTC, over the counter?
No, ma'am.
And you had no argument with Sebastian that night?
No, ma'am.
You stated you put the dogs away into a crate before you went to bed. Is the crate located near the exit, near a door?
No, ma'am.
Would the dogs have barked if there had been an intruder or if Sebastian had left?
The dogs don't typically bark at me and Sebastian because they're used to us. Even if we get up, we come around, they don't typically bark. Strangers, they do tend to bark, at least for a minute or two to get attention. But no, ma'am, they don't typically bark at Sebastian and myself or Christopher.
What kind of dogs are they?
Morkies.
Question: where is their crate located?
In the area near my sunroom.
Over by the
In
kitchen.
your son's. Okay, hold on. Is
No,
it
son,
outside
not
your
son.
son's room?
No, ma'am, not
Sunroom.
Sebastian's room. Son, yeah, yes, ma'am.
The sunroom, and that's not near the door?
No, ma'am.
Not near the front door.
It's near my back door, but not any of the other doors.
Yes, from what I've seen the layout of the home, it is near the back door, and they would have heard someone coming in and out that back door, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
No barking. Do you have a chime or anything on your doors that would alert you to the door opening?
No, ma'am.
Miss Grace, could I jump
Question.
in for something?
Yes, please. And I want to follow up with a question
Yes.
regarding Miss Proudfoot's polygraph. But please, Lauren, jump in. Everybody on the
Thank you.
panel, now is the time to ask the Proudfoots any question that may shed light on what has happened to Sebastian. We are not in a judging arena. We are in a fact-finding arena. We can then assimilate the facts and make deductions. Please jump in. Lauren Conlon is
Yes.
joining me. You can find her at Lauren Emily Conlon. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. And now this might be for Brian as well. Yesterday, when the dogs hit and everybody's going crazy, YouTubers, internet, TikTokers, and we figure out it's not Sebastian and police are not involved, the TBI is not involved. Did you call the Proudfoots and let them know that this was not Sebastian? Did you tell them ahead of time that you were searching these areas? Did they know what you were doing, or was this specifically just through Seth Rogers?
Yeah, so Seth Rogers is Sebastian's biological father, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
he was there, and as Ms. Grace alluded to earlier, it would not have been typical or possibly even probable that he could have skeletonized after only a few weeks. So I'm not sure about the Proudfoots, but his father definitely did know. I also wanted to echo what Miss Nancy said earlier about the police. One of the reasons we got called in, there was a lot of social media personalities reaching out to us, kind of complaining that they didn't feel like the police were doing enough. But really, it's just what Miss Nancy said. It's that they're not under obligation to give daily or every other day updates. They are doing an investigation. We have been in very close contact with TBI, and I can tell everybody with 100% certainty, they are on top of it. They are not letting their foot off the gas at all on the search for Sebastian or trying to find out what happened to him. The YouTubers and TikTokers that do live stream probably do the most harm. We appreciate the attention that they bring to things, but when you do a live stream, you don't have any control over what gets seen by potentially the entire world. So we can't tell people what not to do. They have free speech. It's their own accounts they're using. Not helpful to do live streams during searches like that. If you want to do it, do a video that you could potentially edit.
Here we go.
So that we cut down on the amount of misinformation. That's why social media is not
Look at
necessarily
Nancy's
your house. We go in and do search and rescue. You have to trust the process like we do. We trust law enforcement is going to have this wrapped up probably very soon.
Brian,
Yeah,
however, I want to make sure that you are not encouraging citizen sleuths to stop looking, because I've had many cases where we put out the warning and they actually spot a missing person. I mean, I only have to point to Gabby Petito, whose remains were found in dispersed camping way out west by a citizen who had heard about the case. So, yeah, sometimes their information is wrong, but there is no way in HELL that I would ask them to stop. And I know that's not where you're headed. Yeah.
No, we don't want them to stop. Matter of fact, it was 2 citizen sleuths that found Riley Strain's bank card out by the bank of the Cumberland River in Nashville. So, like I said, they do provide a service. My only suggestion was maybe not doing live stream, maybe just video, and then you can edit and post later. Just a suggestion.
Hey guys, I don't want to see anything edited. I want to see the whole thing. No edits, no airbrushing, the real deal. But that's just me. I want to go back to Katie Proudfoot. This is Sebastian's biological mother, Miss Proudfoot. What questions were you asked during your polygraph?
I was asked if I knew where my son was. I was asked if I hurt him. I was asked if I had hurt someone, among a few other questions.
And Mr. Proudfoot, you have volunteered to take a poly?
Yes, ma'am.
If I were to set up a poly for you, would you take it?
Name the place and time, ma'am. I'll be there.
And you're headed back to Memphis right now. Are you in your RV right now?
I am in my RV. We are not disclosing our current location just because of safety reasons, due to the YouTubers, the Facebookers out there that have sent some very heinous, threatening information and things of that nature, threatening to be outside of our house, all kinds of nasty things. So we're not disclosing our location at this time, unless you're law enforcement.
Ms. Proudfoot, is that one of the reasons you left the home?
One of them, yes, ma'am.
Question to you guys. When police came in and processed your home, did they look with, for instance, luminol? Did they check? What did they do when they searched your home?
They thoroughly searched my home with many different things. They removed some things for the dogs to hold the scent, and for Sebastian's DNA. I know that they used thermal
night
vision. Thank you. And I don't know exactly all of the tools that they used, but I do know that multiple different searches were done on my home by many different people, detectives, sheriffs, and a few others.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, I wouldn't swear that the forensics folks showed up or not, because there were so many folks in and out of the house that it was just, hi, I'm so-and-so with law enforcement. I'm so-and-so with law enforcement. Okay.
Every time they've said we need to look, or please do.
Does Sebastian have a hardwood floor or a carpeted floor?
In his bedroom,
carpet.
Yes. Carpeting.
Carpet.
Did they remove any carpeting?
No, ma'am.
Do you feel confident they searched his bathroom?
Okay, there's certain things in this interview that I think that Nancy already knows. Watch this right here. She's done this a few times, and I just kind of caught on to what I think she's doing. She's always very colorful with her faces to begin with, but watch this when she asked this question.
I said we need to look, or please do.
Does Sebastian have a hardwood floor or a carpeted floor?
In his bedroom,
carpet.
Yes. Carpeting.
Carpet.
Did they remove any carpeting?
No, ma'am.
Do you feel confident they?
There's something in her facial expressions, like it's like she knows something already, and when they answer, she's like, "That just isn't okay." Type face. You know what I'm saying? That's weird. She's done that a few times now.
They searched his bathroom?
They did.
Yes, ma'am, they did.
When you state that they removed items for the scent dogs, what did they take?
Clothing, a blanket that he used like every day, and a few other items of his, toiletries, like his brush,
Lauren Conlon joining us, investigative journalist. Lauren, again, thank you for being with us. And earlier you were hearing sound from WSMV4. I understand you have another question.
Oh, I mean, I guess I didn't quite get the clarity I wanted, in the sense that, did the Proudfoots know that this search was going on with the Cajun Navy? Were they being called? Were you guys being alerted about this? Did you hear from a YouTuber that they found something, that the cadaver dog, or I'm sorry, the search dog started jumping? Or, were you just kind of blind to all of this? Just, over in your corner doing your search?
No, ma'am. So here, to set that record straight and help the United Cajun Navy. So somebody's got a picture out there saying that we are enjoying a dinner, when we're actually out there, got flyers at a dinner table because we need to eat. My wife was on the phone with the Cajun Navy. That's how the Cajun Navy was brought in. And we talked to the president of the United Cajun Navy. He put us in touch with their team that was here locally in Nashville. Then that young lady reached back out to us, gave us some more information. We gave her some more details. Then they said they would start a search, but we also had them get in direct contact with the TBI agent, as well as Sumter County's Sheriff's Department. We provided all that information. They reached out to them, got some information. They pushed outside of the areas that had been searched already, conducted a search. Somehow or another, they linked up with the bio father, who supposedly got a tip from somewhere. Whether or not it was credible or not, we don't know. But it led them to searching on federal property without permission, which is where we have been informed at some point that there was allegedly a hit on something, but turned out to be nothing. And they were asked to leave the property immediately, or the cops were going to be called, because it was trespassing based off of a tip that the bio father received.
Yeah, to Brian Trasher, VP of Cajun Navy, let's clear it up. Isn't it true this is on federal property that had been closed off? It was a hurricane site earlier. It was also, yes, thank you. And it was also near railroad tracks, and some homeless people had been living there, and apparently one of them had died, and we believe that is what the dogs were hitting on. Is that correct?
Yeah, all the above is correct. And we did not gain access to the property. It had already been open when we got there. I'm not sure how entry was gained, but yeah, everything above it that you said was correct.
Guys, the search for Sebastian goes on. If you have information, if you know or think you know anything about this beautiful, young, autistic boy, please call TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, 800-TBI, FIND, T Tennessee, B Bureau, I, Investigative, TBI, FIND, 1-800-TBI, FIND. That's 800-824-3463. Please join us in the search for Sebastian and lift up your prayers. This boy will be found. Goodbye, friend.
Sorry, I'm muted. No, I didn't know that until after the fact. That was something that was a surprise to me, so I did not know that. I'm sorry. Excuse me, but if they can't even keep their story straight, how do they expect us to not blame? And that's what's happening, April. That's why they should have never, ever done these interviews like this. I clearly stated that a while back. Cletus brought that up and said, why are they doing this? They're making this harder. They're turning it into a circus by doing this in some senses, because people are going to analyze, like we did tonight, everything that they're doing, because if it would have been one interview and everything came out okay, we're done. That's that, okay? No. So I don't know, you guys. Something's off with all of this. Yeah, okay, here, let me show you guys this interview that just This is from like an hour ago. Brian Netton through News Nation did an interview with Seth, which is always good to have a follow-up when we cover an interview with those two. And this is kind of interesting. I have notes that I was reading on this. Get back to the gut. Right, Mama. That's right. All right, let's check this out real quick, folks.
And the concerns about what may have happened to that boy were joined by Seth Rogers. The search for the teen and the concerns about what may have happened to that boy were joined by Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father. Seth, thank you so much for joining us. I'm so sorry for everything you're going through. We want to get the word out about Sebastian. Hasn't gotten enough national attention. Sebastian, I want to be clear, was with his mom and stepdad when he disappeared, but you're very close to Sebastian. Do you have any idea what may have happened here?
I haven't been, I don't know. I mean, I got a phone call and a text message that I received after I got off of work stating that I needed to give the stepfather a call. I called him and he was like, Sebastian's missing. Don't be upset or anything, but you need to come to the house. I don't know what happened to him. I haven't seen him in over a month. I've been out here looking for him.
Seth, I mean, what do they think happened? I mean, could he really have just walked away like that? It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. His shoes were still by the front door. His switch was there. His phone was in the kitchen. It just didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I still can't figure it out. I've been looking everywhere, been handing out flyers, been just trying to keep up hope. And I've reached out to United Cajun Nation to sit there and see if they will help me. And they answered my call.
Yeah, one thing I couldn't understand is why they were telling people not to search at one point. I mean, the shift went to the landfill. It was this investigation and they're telling people not to search. I couldn't make sense of that. I mean, it made me want, do you have any indication that investigators may know that something bad happened here?
They haven't told me anything, and they told people not to search, but I've been searching since that Monday. I can't just sit around and not do anything. I've got to find my son.
Yeah, I understand. I would be doing the same exact thing as you, and I think everybody around America would be, and their hearts go out to you. Have you talked to Sebastian's mom, stepdad? You mentioned you had that conversation when they said, you know, he's gone missing, but have they been able to give any more information?
I haven't spoken to them for at least 2 weeks. They're not talking to me.
There are reports that they have packed up an RV and left the house that Sebastian disappeared from. Any idea why they would do that?
I have no idea. I have no information. They weren't talking to me, so I was out here trying to find my son.
Do you feel that they were taking good care of him?
I've got information from podcasts that they were showing that horrify me.
What do you mean? I mean, were they on podcasts or? I'm sorry, I know this is upsetting, but I just want to understand.
They were going on podcasts, and it was like, it's supposed to be about Sebastian. They wanted to talk about themselves. I don't get that. We need to get Sebastian's face out to everybody. Have them looking for Sebastian. This isn't about me. It's not about his mom. It's not about his stepdad. This is about Sebastian. He needs to be found.
Have they been searching at all? I mean, I know you're out there right now. Have his mom and stepdad been out there too?
I can't answer that question. I don't know. I haven't seen them. And they've not been where I've been handing out flyers or searching. So I couldn't tell you what they've been doing.
I mean, Seth, you know, I'm glad we have the picture up. He looks like such a nice young man. And I mean, Would he ever leave barefoot? I know that's something that's perplexed some people. And even people who have children on the autism spectrum have been perplexed by that. Does that make any sense?
It doesn't. It does not make any sense. If he knew he was going to go out walking or anywhere in the yard or whatnot, he would put on socks and shoes. He had a horrible experience as a child with fire ants. He learned it's always socks and shoes, or at least something on your feet to protect you from what's on the ground.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased.
That was hard. That's where I've been with this from the first day I covered this. Because I have this child in my home. And I can't imagine having to go through what he's going through right now. This is not fair to any of them. I'm sorry, you guys. Just give me a second. My apologies. Like I said before, this child is almost identical to my son, other than the fact that they're 2 years apart. And I know what this man it could be feeling, is feeling. I've never been through this, and I can't imagine. This is was always one of my biggest fears with Caden because of the things that the issues. So I sat on him his whole life. I still do at 17 years old because I'm scared to death of something like that happening to him. Of course, it would never happen from me or his mother or anybody in our family, but I've always feared this, which is why this case is so close to my heart. And for this man to be broken the way he is, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. Okay. They're not speaking to him. They're not telling him this. There's something wrong on their side of the tracks, folks. And it just makes me so damn mad. So damn mad. Every single day, Angel, every day that I wake up, I come into this room with this computer and I sit down and I turn it on and I go directly to anything I can find to give updates to see, did they find him? Praying to God that they found this child alive and well. And there's going to be a giant picture of him smiling, hugging his dad. Okay. That's how I wake up every day. That's no lie. And then I go in and I look at all the other things going on and try to, pass on by the thoughts of the other things that could be happening or could have happened. As I come in here and I look for whoever's live, searching to where I can't get to do that, of course, but I go live every single day after my research and everything I'm looking for to show everybody that we're still looking for him and to push everybody to still keep looking for him. And then we see this, where this man has been day after day after day after day after day after day trudging through these areas, hurting himself, dislocating his shoulder, blisters all over his feet, and this and that, everything else, with nothing. There's nothing. And I feel so strongly that there's somebody that knows something, because none of this makes any damn sense, you guys. None of it. People just don't disappear into thin air, okay? Especially not people that are inside a home. It just doesn't happen. Nobody came into this house and took that child out, okay? It didn't happen that way. I know that, and you know that, okay? Well, that's already been stated. But here's the thing. Seth is the one that has the life insurance policy on Sebastian. As far as I'm understanding, not the other two. But again, I don't know what is going on. Now, this goes, there's things that have been brought up about Chris's past. There's things that have been brought up about Seth's past, okay? It goes both directions. You know, I've had people that have sent me pictures of things and this and that. I have pictures, you guys, of Chris and his arm that I don't understand, that I haven't shown anybody at this point because I just don't know how to take it. All right, there's pictures of Chris with his arms are all scratched, all the shit cut up and scratched up, that was sent to me by a couple different people, and I appreciate that very much. What do I do with something like that, though, at this point? You know what I mean? Is that going to bring Sebastian home? Is anything that we're doing going to bring Sebastian home? Is Sebastian going to be able to come home? That's the fear I have. Those are the nights that I don't sleep, when I'm laying there wondering and thinking and trying to put pieces of things together in my mind. I don't know. This child needs to come home yesterday. And he needs to be healthy, happy, safe, and solid, guys. This is so unfair and unreal anymore. I agree, Cassie. I would be the same way. I think most of us would. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. No, my understanding is that his biological father has a life insurance policy, and it's just I think it was part of his job or something. When that question was asked to Katie, that was the answer she gave. They said it would be wrapped up very quickly, which makes me feel there's something that somebody knows at this point. Oh, 100%. Joanne's mom, I would too. I don't get that from him at all, especially not after watching that. It does happen. It does happen. That's correct. And don't forget, Sebastian has another disease as well, okay? Not just the autistic scenario. There's something that's wrong somewhere. Seth said this the other day, and I agree wholeheartedly. This is a really big puzzle, and there is one particular piece that's missing right now, and it's the most important piece, guys, and nobody can figure it out. Nobody can seem to figure it out. So Seth, his biological father, is the one, according to Katie, that has the life insurance policy, folks. That's what we were told through one of the interviews. It does have those vibes, Angel. It definitely has the Gannon Staunch vibes to it. stepmother thing, every bit of it. Okay, I agree. Very much so. Absolutely. Absolutely, Brandy. Excuse me. I'm trying to put this together in my head to how this could make any sense to me, and I can't, guys. I just can't. Like and that's all based on the last person to be with this child that we know of is his mother. And her story is the story that we have. And that is that what she told us. And that does not fit into the fact that this child's missing, guys. That's why this is so hard to accept. There's some I feel so strongly that there's something here that somebody's not saying. Now, I'm not going to be accusational, but I don't have the ability to not say that there's something that's not being said because that's all that this leaves open to. Okay? Yes, absolutely, Sherry. That's true. That is true. It's possible. She stated when they asked her this question, she did not allude to that. She said that just Steph did, April. So that's, that's what we took it as. I just don't know what to think. I just don't. Does anybody have any questions or anything that they'd like to add to this or put out there or ask just anything at all, guys? I really appreciate you guys being here as we break this down because I still feel that it's important to look at this to realize what's real and what's not with this and so on and so forth. If the police interested them hard separately, interrogated them hard separately, what do you think? Who do you think would crack if they did anything? Probably her, in my opinion, if they did. They definitely do need to be interviewed separately, in my opinion. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that very much. Very, very much. I appreciate you all very much. They definitely need to be interviewed separately if they have not been yet. And they need to be interrogated, not interviewed, but interrogated, just as much as Seth should be interrogated. Any parent involved in a situation like this definitely needs to be interrogated, in my opinion, especially the person that was last with him. Welcome, Angel, and congrats for becoming part of the family here. We appreciate you very, very much. And welcome to the sauce. I think we're all going through that right now, Trinity. Honestly, it's not something that I cannot think about. Okay. And as I said, guys, I'm not going to stop with this until that child comes home. So I don't want it to, but if this were to take 20 years, guys, I'm going to sit here and talk about this for the next 20 years. That's just the way I feel about this. I really don't think it will. Absolutely. And thank you, Angel. I appreciate you so very much. And it's wonderful to have you as part of this family. I feel, and I've said this already, that this week, maybe even by Wednesday, I think I told Clue that I think we're going to start hearing something. So I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, that was definitely disturbing, Carolyn, and I think they handled that pretty good for the situation. Thank you for being here tonight a little bit. I appreciate you very. Well, guys, excuse me. I think that's probably going to do it for tonight. I will be back here tomorrow during the day, right back at it until we find this child. And we're going to be looking at some other stuff. There's some stuff going on in the Soto case and some other things too, that I got to start putting out there as well. This coming week, we're going to be covering something. If I can get Salty together with her system working right, I want to come out here and do a Delphi show and get all that information brought back out to you guys as well with what's going on. There's a lot going on. I've just been so preoccupied with this. But I want everybody, if you will. Why would she leave home? That's a good point, Gene. It's strange. The way she explained it, it's strange. Very strange. So thank you guys all so much for your support with this. Anybody that donated anything to any of the links with the channel or anything, God bless. From the deepest part of my heart, I appreciate that very much. That keeps me going. You guys are amazing for that. And just for being here to support this, you guys are amazing. Moderators are, there's no words. I love you guys to death and appreciate you every single day and every bit you do. I will continue to cover this and to keep this from even remotely getting cold. We got to keep it hot, and I will do that the best that I can, as well as all the other channels that are covering it. And I appreciate all of you supporting those channels as well. You guys are amazing. This community is amazing, and just the best people out there, guys. You guys are just the best people. I love every one of you guys. Oh, wait a minute. I do have a couple things. I'm sorry, Molly. I got all wrapped up within my own emotions, so my apologies real quick here. Hold on a second here. So Molly sent this through. This was a drive by the house, I'm guessing. I see. There's a door here that she's pointing out. That's interesting, actually. I never saw that before. Hold on a minute. My apologies, you guys. Okay, so this is in the back corner of the house. I don't know what that is. That's some kind of a, maybe it goes into the basement somehow, or maybe if this is on a slab, there could be like crawl spaces underneath the house for like wiring and plumbing and stuff. That could be what that is. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me, as an access door to getting underneath for to deal with like plumbing and wiring and stuff like that. That's a good catch though, Molly, because I never saw that. I don't think it is Virginia, but that's my opinion. Good catch, Molly. Very good catch. Yeah, sorry, I went blurry, but that's an access door. Any home that's on a slab like that doesn't have a basement, there's got to be a place for plumbing and wiring and all that kind of stuff to go. That's what that door is, Molly. So yeah, but I never saw it. So great job. Great point. So hopefully, and I'm guessing that they have a good night, April. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm guessing that they did check through all that stuff. They went through this house 10 times in my understanding. So hopefully they looked up under there too, because that would be really, really insane if they didn't. And you know what I mean? So great job, Molly. Awesome point out, because I did not see that. And I do believe there's a couple more here. Let me double check to make sure I got it all. Good, huge point though, Molly. Thank you for that. And great job as always. Um, okay, so that's the same interview. Thank you. S. Hagen, I appreciate that very much. Victoria's in here, aren't you? Aren't you in here, Victoria? Or were? Okay, I'll have to go look again. One moment here. Okay. Okay, Molly, hold on. Let me double check. I'll play this just because I'm in a somber mood right now. Gotta love it. Thank you, Molly. It makes me smile. Very much appreciated. Kind of needed that. So that was cute. I love cat videos. Um, I'm just making sure I'm catching your guys' emails for anything that. It looks good though. I think I got everything. Okay. Like I said, we're gonna be catching up on this other stuff too. So, no, it wasn't Caden. All right, guys. I think that's gonna do it for tonight. Yeah, I know. I agree with you on that. Paula, I don't understand that. But what do we believe though? We heard two different things tonight. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense at all to me. Have a great night, Holly. All you guys, please, have a agree, Paula. Please, guys, if you can, every one of you guys have a wonderful night. Don't forget to love yourselves, to love each other. We will be back here tomorrow doing our thing. We're gonna bring this child home. I pray to God we do. Much love to each and every one of you guys. Don't forget to love yourselves and to love each other. Okay. And I appreciate everything you guys have done for this channel and all other channels that are supporting this and all the other cases we support. Guys, don't change a thing about yourselves because you guys are the beautiful people. Much love to each and every one of you guys. God bless you all and have a wonderful night. I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye.